Welcome, everybody! It's been far too long, but we are back for another night of VCS action. If you've forgotten who we are in all this time, my name is Everyday, and the man to my left on screen here is Yulwei, the man with the brain. How are we tonight? I'm so happy to be back.
Hello. It's everything but the night for me, of course. But I'm super excited anyway. They still, it's Corona crisis, and everyone seems to be changing their lives. But for me, it's still construction work going on the outside. So honestly, nothing has changed. But finally, VCS is back, and we are here to bring it to you. Week 8, the penultimate week, and huge playoff implications on almost every match.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly this first one, EVS taking on Team Secret. This one's critical. Now that we're into that second round robin, Team Secret, they've been slumping, which actually has opened the race for third up. Previously, we thought maybe it was only fourth that was on the table. But suddenly, there's 2 playoff spots completely up for grabs. This second one super matters. So please break this one down, what it means for playoff contentions for this first series.
So Team Secret ended the first round robin on 5-2.
We are straight into it, but do continue. But we are straight into the picks and bans.
So 5-2 was the record for Team Secret after first round robin, and that looks very good, right? Mm-hmm. You only need 8-8 to get 8-6 to get to playoffs usually. So you only need 3 series victories, and there are teams like FTV and of course VGA also around. So you're like, okay, 7 is secured. We just need 1, but suddenly they was and Cerberus, and of course DBL as well, and lost the last 2 series to 2 direct competitors, which are DBL and Cerberus. If they happen to lose today, they would have lost to all 3 fourth place teams, which means suddenly they are right in the mix. So this is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. This is pretty huge. We do see we are still on 10.5. We were wondering a little bit whether we might go to 10.6, but also something to note here is we were kind of talking about before we went live that Team Secret has been putting too much reliance on Hani, and he hasn't been able to do it. But up in the top lane, that's not Hani.
But and on the other side, indeed, it's Bat instead of Hero.
I didn't notice that one,
which is super surprising because Bat1 played for EVOS in the mid lane position last seen there with 2 on games mid lane, while Hero was playing top lane. They were playing a little bit of a flexible lane style where you could go to either lane depending on matchup. Now Bat1 is in as a top laner while Park is back. So this is much more the Bat1 we saw last season, where he was the starting top laner. Very surprising to me, because so far he has not been able to show us anything convincing in the top lane.
Nothing at all. And oh boy, saw a little hover there of a Star Dragon. Don't think that'll get locked in, as it is worth noting that is a Callista picked up for EVOS. Please say it's not solo lane.
Yeah, hopefully not. We've seen some very atrocious solo lane Callistas in the VCS so far. Some mid lane Callistas even. Actually, I think we are even tight in top end mid lane Callista, which is very surprising because no one else has even touched mid lane Callista for a good reason.
It didn't look very good.
Yeah, there were some very questionable games. This win rate here for Set is astonishing. 71%. He's rightfully seen as the number 1 priority so far. If you look at the win rates, 61% ban rate as well. So he's a super high priority here in the VCS. I think there was 100% there if you add up ban and pick, of course. So makes sense to put Coated on him. It's actually surprising to see Coated on Set, because when we started the season, Coated was the starting top lane, and Hani only came in to play Set.
Yeah.
So now suddenly Coated comes back in and plays Hani's champ, which is a little surprising.
Yeah, it's possible they didn't think it would get through the bans, but we now have half the team comps on both sides. Let's start with Team Secret, who need to break their slump. What do you think of their 10 comps so far, and what would you like to see it rounded out with? It's already looking very early game aggressive.
Yeah, both teams actually look very early game aggressive. So focusing on Team Secret's comps so far, it reminds me very much of LPL comps with very strong laners. We have Set priority and MF as a strong laner on the bot lane. with Elise to facilitate strong laners. I think Elise set is a very good diving combination, even very early on, with Haymaker shield being big enough to like take 2 turret shots early. So a level 4 dive is something we can look at. Maybe not easy to do against Renekton, but still a possibility. And then, yeah, MF can just mold into whatever form you want her. She can be a little bit of a late game, like Assurance with her crit build. She can also just play 4 lane dominance. Maybe not so much against Kalista. So it's pretty much just to hold the bot lane here. But we're going quick and fast, as
Absolutely.
This is a Braum lock-in, right?
Yep, it definitely is. And this is kind of smart from EVOS. I do think that'll be a bot lane Kalista for Div Kid, but they are technically keeping the option of it being solo lane open. It could still be a solo laner. There is no other AD carry locked in. As Secret looks like they'll answer. Ooh, they've gone the Rakan instead of the Nautilus. Interesting.
So EVOS could has multiple options here for last pick, which I like a lot. They could go Lucian and send Kalista or Lucian in solo lanes. They are very AD heavy, but very much early game focus, which fits their team composition or the theme of the team composition. So Lucian is one option. You could also just go on last pick here with Braum kind of deterring the on the other side. You could have on as a little bit of a late game insurance. You could put him mid lane or top lane. As we have seen another late game insurance actually on the other side, so that's a little bit of a surprise. The Azir here for Secret, not something Artifact likes to play a lot, but gives them a little bit more, their team composition a little bit more punch, especially in the later stages.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a very strong combo if you can get an Azir rolling in the late game. You can add a bullet time to that, and this Team Secret comp can definitely still tussle with the best of them in the late game. But it's still very interesting. I'm keen to see how this Azir goes. But the Nico last pick, the Chameleon, she's back.
Interesting. So we've seen some Nico play, especially in the LPL. I think Rookie has been a big fan of Nico. She is an interesting pick here. I did not expect to see the Nico. It gives them a little bit more AP, a lot more control in team fights. I'm not sure if I like the Nico here. Nico is very strong at controlling and can counter-engage with ultimate. Her engage with ultimate is relatively easy to dodge, especially for quick champs like Rakan, like Azir. MF can flash away almost every time. So, yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Something different. I like that Park is trying his hand at something different, because so far this is one of the worst seasons for Park ever, and he has been struggling a lot in the mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Nico is very interesting. It doesn't do enough, in my opinion, compared to the Azir in the late game. They hovered the Rise, and actually quite...
Not for the late game.
Yeah, it's not for the late game at all, which just means that it's a very... different approach. They hovered the Rise, which I actually would have liked, because then we could have had a situation where both teams played that early game aggro in the top and the bottom lane, and then the mid lane is like, it would have just been a bit of a farm fest, and we would have gone into the late game with both late game insurance policies being activated. But in this situation, EVOS, I mean, how far ahead in the lanes do they have to be for you to favor them?
Well, that's a good question. I think they definitely need a lead here. It's not like Team Secret has the strongest late game composition of all time. They still have Elise and stuff like Zed as well. Zed scales decently well. Yeah, I'd say we have to look at something like 3K after laning phase, maybe, or after mid game, let's say, for EVOS. They could look for a little bit of a Dragon Snowball with a very strong bot side. Nico should be able to push in Azir all the time, and Olaf is very good at soloing Dragon as well. So I'd like to see a little bit of Dragon focus. Renekton into set so far, well, from what I've seen, is a pretty even matchup. I know there's the fantasy about Renekton being able to break the shield, but it's not really coming to fruition too often. So I think top lane is just a wash, and then EVOS should play around they're very strong. Especially, I think Rakan gave Team Secret a little bit of a weaker laning phase for bot side, so I'd really, really like to see a heavy focus on bot.
Yeah, I would too. That would be where I think they'll aim. I think the set Renekton matchup, it's definitely more Renekton favored now, just because Bork is so good. Like, Renekton only got stronger and Set's gotten weaker over time. But I still think Set's fine. It'll be interesting. We do have the Elise on the side of Team Secret. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Because obviously Elise needs to have an impact early. Hasn't gone for the Conqueror release that we've started seeing popping up. Has gone the Electrocute.
That's a good sign.
I prefer that. But, some people think Conqueror is the way to go. Regardless, where do you think DNK should be focusing? Do you go gank the top lane? Or is it a rumble in the bot lane?
I think you're at a disadvantage if you try to go for a 3v3 fight spot lane. Braum offers way more in early fights compared to Rakan, especially if, this might be a little bit of a clash here early on.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of CC coming out, but...
She doesn't rend. Why did she not rend? That's surprising. There were 3 spears in Celebrity. Just took the bad trait. Oh, okay.
Yeah, a bit weird. Bit of a strange one.
I'm not sure why. So, I think Elise should definitely look for an early top lane gank, and we can see she already split. But Zorn is not that split, and he's actually split happening. So, wow, what is Elise doing? Hello?
I looked away for 2 seconds to fix an issue with our layout. What just happened?
She just executed.
I completely missed that.
Wait, what? She thought she was spotted and had no way to go because both solo lanes had advantages and had priorities. So she was scared of dying to the enemy jungler or one of the solo lanes. But actually, no one had vision on her. I mean, it looked so dumb on our stream, but I think it's fine for her.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, thankfully.
Yeah.
KDA is looking a little bit uglier, but it was just you don't lose your buffs when you get executed, so...
That's true.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, look, obviously it looked a little bit silly when you have the vision of God, but DK can't see that, and I'm glad to see that he just went for it, right? And didn't try and do anything silly.
You have pretty smart adaptation. Should have maybe communicated. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty smart for him to not die there. Yeah. It should have probably communicated with his mid lane, especially a little bit better, that this mid lane was actually not following into the jungle. Because I think when he went for the execute, the information should have been there for Team Secret that there's no one spotting her, or no one spotted her before. Oh, and there we see.
Oh, but here we go. The cocoon has landed. DNK wants to redeem himself. Doesn't repel forward, though. And the Renekton will survive. But he did blow his flash. Both top laners did. So we could see a an Elise return gank. But in the end, nothing really gained there from the first Elise showing.
No. They get the teleport for but 1, but honestly, this is early in the game. The teleport is not going to go anywhere else than the top lane, so it's a little bit of a reset advantage now for Coated. He can cheat 1 recall if he wants, but it's not that big of a deal. We need to see another, as you said, a return gank in the top lane for the Elise to get this and get Coated going.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see this set being accelerated as much as possible, or perhaps even more importantly, the Crocodile being decelerated. If they can pump the brakes on that one, it would be a very good situation for Team Secret. As let's check in a little bit with what we want to see going forward. Obviously, there's no items in the inventories at the moment, but what are the important power spikes here for both teams? What do they want to fight around?
So that's an interesting question here. I think, as I said before, EVOS needs an early advantage to win this game easily. So they are looking at fighting at like 1.5, 2 items. Especially if you look at champs like Renekton, he needs his first item to come in quick and early, so you can try to dominate team fights early on. We need Olaf on. I'm not sure what Olaf wants to go for. Probably the AD build, as we have a little bit of an engagement in the bot lane. Divkit getting caught out, but he should be fine.
Yep.
So back to the point.
DNK arrived to ward them off.
I think Olaf is looking at something like a jungle item into a little bit of tankiness, so he can deal a lot of damage and also be super tanky. Nico is strong on almost every point in the game, so 1 item should be very much better than Azir. Mm-hmm. And Kalista on 1 item as well. So I actually think 1 item power spike is very strong for EVOS here, while on the other side, Secret needs a little bit longer. especially on their 2 backline carries to get online. So that's where we have to check in again and see if EVOS can do anything with the 1 item advantage.
So sort of with that noted, and with what we're seeing on screen here with Sorn taking the first dragon, the dragon snowball could be a possible win condition here for EVOS, because they're going to get this first dragon, presumably the second one around there, just about first item power spike. We could see the dragon snowball being a way for them to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but the dive up in the top lane, I hate to cut you off, as there is the Dominus being used into the suplex. A bit of a mistake, because it actually stopped the Emperor's Divide, but it doesn't matter. An Artifact will get the first kill up in that top lane. The return gank happened. They even brought the Emperor. Looking bloody good there for Team Secret.
Yeah, the execution was actually not super great, but it's enough members, so they still get the kill, and now they have to defend off the dive in the bot lane. Oh, Venus is very far called out. He should just be
Rakan, though.
Here. Still has flash available, though. Yeah.
Ooh,
wow.
I think we're a little bit out of sync. I think we might be a bit out of sync. I think I'm ahead of you. We might just have to do a quick resync, everybody. I do apologize. What are you at, my friend? I can't hear you. What's going on? Oh, no. I'm not sure what's going on. Hello, friend?
Hello, hello.
Oh, hello. I couldn't hear you. I could see you 17, talking. 18? Yeah, I'm 5 seconds ahead of you. I'll pause at 7:25. Apologies, everyone. Welcome to Bootleg Production.
I did not catch what you 25. Were pausing at. So. 25. Oh, I'm now at 30.
All right, you'll have to catch up a little bit. We will sort this out. We are very, very sorry. If we could do this at the venue, so we didn't have to worry about this, we could. But unfortunately, we are not official, obviously.
So, one final resync. Maybe. Oh, wow. DNK is 2 levels down. He might go down here.
He's caught out here. Sorn running onto him, goes up in the air. Teleport coming in. DNK is taking way too much damage. Tries to juke with the flash, but absolutely no hope. That is an easy kill there for Sorn. My oh my.
Stop the smiter down. Oh, he's 2 levels up and now even got the solo kill. So he might look at 3 level advantage once he has cleared the top side jungle. Wow. When did DNK fall this far behind? He's
just been ganking constantly, and Sorn's just been hard farming.
He has not actually farmed. Yeah. Sorn is sitting on second or third most CS in his team, more than his top laner actually, which makes sense because his top laner went down and had to recall early. But it's still impressive. 67 CS this early on in the game for the jungler. Very, very good start for Sorn. And this team is very reliant on Sorn.
Absolutely.
Wanted to point this out as well. Whenever Sorn does well, they tend to win games, of course. When he does poorly, the team just can't come up with any plan to like bail him out of there. If Sorn does poorly, EVOS just loses. So it's very important for them that Sorn has a good start here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorn getting off to a good start, as you said, is basically the best hope the best thing you could see if you are an EVOS fan or perhaps just a hater of Team Secret. You know who I'm talking to. If you don't want to see them win, you want Sorn to succeed, and he's absolutely doing that here. Really important pick to do it on as well. A lot of those games we've talked about Sorn carrying were on someone like Jarvan. Jarvan, it doesn't really matter if he gets off to a huge lead. He isn't going to carry the game himself. He's going to make his team be able to carry. Olaf, on the other hand, can absolutely put the game on his own back.
So, and Team Secret has just adapted and trying to dodge lanes, because lanes are not going too well, especially in the bot lane. They're even CS, but they still wanted to accelerate on their own, and now getting in the first turret in the top lane, which means Team Secret actually gets back to a gold lead. Yep. Good play for DNK especially, who can't look for any kind of skirmish right now because he's so much weaker than the Olafs. He's just focusing on taking objectives and giving his team an artificial gold lead through taking these big objectives, monster objectives, of course.
So I have an interesting question for you. We are looking, because it's a Mountain Drake Sporting next, which means we're going to either Infernal or Cloud. Now, if you common wisdom would say that if you think you're going to get Dragon Soul, you'd rather Infernal Soul. But considering Sorn is off to such a big lead, and he's playing Olaf, would Cloud Soul be better? Because it's so ridiculous on Olaf.
Strong word. It is very good on a lot of champs, actually. You like to have Cloud Soul on the Renekton as well, just because you are actually, Nico, it doesn't really do that much on Nico, honestly, because you stun yourself while you're ult, so it's not actually that useful.
Well, you get the first few seconds, right?
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, you get a little bit of a movement speed boost, but
Yeah.
you still have 1.5 seconds delay on your stun. So I think it's still enough time to flash out or even strut out sometimes. But it's very, very good on Renekton because he has another movement speed tool in his inventory, or in his arsenal, I should say. Usually your ultimate just gives you a little bit of damage and HP, but now it's also just a movement speed button. So, or not now, of course, when they secure the
Yeah, we
soul.
are assuming they get it. It's just an interesting thought.
So I think Cloud is definitely very valuable for EVOS. Infernal might still be a little bit stronger in team fights because it's not like all 5 champs are very good Cloud soul champs. So yeah, I think Infernal is still the preferred choice, but the Cloud is not far behind.
Well, which one's it going to be? Because we'll see EVOS picking up this second Drake here.
Cloud.
No contest for Team Secret. Well, I'm going to say Infernal just to be different. We'll have to see who is the better color caster. And it's me, once again! Once again, I should just be solo
I can
casting.
never win this game. I can
You'd
never
think
win
eventually you would call a coin flip correctly, but nope.
Nope. VCS likes to troll me a lot. Oh, there we go. Another Gake attempt.
Ooh.
Nope.
Yep, DNK down here. I think you might be still a few seconds ahead of me as Venus does hop away. We might have to finish doing that resync that we never actually finished.
Wow, I could have actually waited for the Drake to spawn. Then sounds smart.
That would have been clever. Oh,
now we should be back in sync. I didn't do that, as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have gotten it right, hopefully. But back on things that people care about, of course. Let's look at this jungle matchup again, because it's going from bad to worse. That's a lot of CS on that Olaf.
Yeah, and still 2 levels ahead. So this Olaf is accelerating. It's good to see that Olaf is kind of playing a little bit selfishly. He got the 1 kill of his team and has a lot of CS going for him. So he is very strong in mid game, and I think that's super important for EVOS. Olaf can deal with some of the champs quite well. He's very good into Rakan. He's very strong into Azir as well, because Azir can't really stop him with his wall. So yeah, Olaf will have a big impact, in my opinion, in mid-game team fights. But then, can he withstand the later game pressure? Because while he's quite good into Azir early on, later, Azir just shreds him to pieces. So, Hake finds a very good Q. Wow, a good trade though for Artifact. Landing all his soldiers. So we're back to even HP bars. And mid lane is just a farm fest. Look at the CS. Quite nice. 10 CS per minute so far.
Yep, absolutely. And that's even with Artifact heading to the top lane early on, where he did get that first blood. But just to sort of close out discussion on that jungle matchup, this is even worse than I think it normally would be, because this is an Elise that's getting absolutely stuffed behind. This pick does nothing now.
Yeah, especially not in this team composition. Sometimes you have your Elise from behind still be a little bit of an assassination threat to the enemy ADC. But this one is playing with a stand behind me from Braum. So Braum can just block everything Elise throws at the ADC, and then Elise is just useless. So right now DNK is just there to take objectives and trying to deter dives like he does here. So that's actually a good job for him. He can't really do anything else.
Ooh, bullet time being used there just to make sure the dive doesn't happen. Most of it blocked by Braum. But, I mean, it's not that significant cooldown. DNK is on a ward here. This could be very, very bad. There could be a counter gank from Olaf. I think DNK wants to back off, because this is not a real 3v3 if Olaf is here.
Oh, they landed the cocoon.
Oh, the cocoon has landed. B's done a lot. The Axis should come out soon, though, but they want to save it onto the priority targets. Venus is very, very caught. Okay. The Ragnarok finally being used up in the air. Are they going to continue this dive, or is it going to stuff it? No, the timing wasn't quite good enough on the Tangle Barb. Someone takes a lot of damage, has to flash.
What's going on in top lane?
Oh, up in top lane. My God, yeah. Can we flick up their observers as we've got a bit of a 2v1 picking on, but one will go down. We'll need a replay of how that one started. As EVOS should be picking up the bot lane tower.
Yeah. I look at the summoner spells, and it's just coated and but one trading flashes once again. So Artifact probably just came in after a flash facebreaker. We'll get to see that again. But now 0-2 on the Renekton. But one once again not looking too promising on his special champion.
I'm going to make a prediction. Okay? I don't have to do this. If we see the replay, I don't think it was a flash facebreaker, because he ended up in the Herald pit, which means I think it was a flash suplex. Because the streamer shuffle was used right at the end. How did he get there?
Yeah,
Why didn't he run
interesting
down lane otherwise? It doesn't matter. The kill's a kill. Doesn't matter how it came. But, you know, I'm a set main. So.
Yeah, hopefully we will get to see the replay soon. Another objective secured for DNK. So I actually have to praise DNK here. After falling behind in the jungle pathing and also getting killed one-on-one, level 5. He has adapted his playstyle a lot and just goes to kind of avoid Olaf at all costs and go for objectives.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. This is really good. Doing pretty much everything he can do from behind. Hasn't let it tilt him. He's actually caught up a little bit in CS. He was, actually, it's around about the same, but at least he's maintaining the same gap. And considering the rest of his team is doing well, they do have that 500 gold lead. It could be a bit more, but oh well. They're not too unhappy about that. As you did point out in Champ Select, this is... Team Secret can be a little bit behind, but they're actually a little bit ahead.
They are in a very good position to win this game. They still need to be careful, as now the one item power spikes I talked about come in, and EVOS is actually looking at the third dragon right away.
Secret needs to contest this one.
It's still too far away. Yeah, nope. It's gone already. So that's now the win condition for EVOS. They've not been able to accelerate in terms of gold, but they have been able to snowball the dragons. So dragon number 4 can be the turning point for the whole game. If Team Secret gets strong enough to contest the next dragon, and they might actually do that, looking at the items completed, they are working on their second items, and second item, 2 items against 2 items is way better for Team Secret than 1 item against 1 item in this team composition. So there's a good chance that they will be able, but never mind.
Here's the flank from Coded, trying to find something, but one was as well, but he doesn't get anything. Now they look like they want to hunt the crocodile down, but there's no chance they're going to catch him. So in the end, it's just 2 towers here for Team Secret. And yeah, I think it might just be the dragons for a win condition at this point. It's looking a little bit dire in every other facet of the game for EVOS.
So, and I have to talk about the Renekton build here. So, of course, we are on 10-5, so everyone builds a Borg Renekton, which from ahead is very strong, right? You can split push forever, no one can contest you. But is it still the right choice from behind? I am not so sure, because you don't get a CDR, you don't get any kind of tankiness. The sustain is not enough to matter in team fights right now, but one is just not able to team fight, and he's not even winning lane, so I kind of question this Borg Renekton this particular game.
I think it might be okay considering Coded's gone the Black Cleaver. If Coded had sort of really used his potential lead, because he didn't win the lane 1v1. It was Team Secret rotating people up to the top lane. So I think he'll be okay if he uses it in the side lane. I think the problem's going to be, and I think this is where your point is much more correct, not that you were incorrect. It's like, I think it's much more relevant. Is that Set can team fight. This Renekton can't.
Yeah, indeed. Especially for the next dragon fight, this is not looking too great. So EVOS is kind of looking at a dragon they need to take, but can't fight. So how can they construct a game state where they can kind of sneak the dragon? It might have to come through split pushing. They might have to give up the next dragon and look at later item spikes, because it's not like their team composition can't do anything later on. 2 items is still pretty strong for them, not quite as big of an advantage compared to the enemy team in 1 items, but still pretty good. So maybe you wait for the second item to complete on Renekton and things like Div Kid and Parquet as well. So and don't contest the next dragon. Of course you want to, but it's quite risky. If they hard lose the next team fight, the game might just be over, where Team Secret gets more kills on Azir, some kills on Celebrity, and then suddenly there's no way for EVOS to fight.
Yeah, very, very true. As speaking of the items, we said that EVOS was going to be much, much stronger at 1 item, which I think they still are, but they've mitigated that. But Venus has engaged here. The teleport's coming in. Double teleport. This could be a bit of a 4v4 here. Coded wants to grab Div Kid and does. Can they get the finish? So much damage coming out of the Haymaker. Bullet time won't get the kill. Fate's Call and the hops came in. But there's the Shurima Shuffle. The wall will knock back the crop. And there's the Flash Cocoon. Down goes Div Kid and Team Secret, despite being at, a scaling disadvantage right now. Hard win a team fight.
Yeah, and that's really a really bad sign for EVO's chances to win. And we see DNK once again making the best of his pretty bad situation early on and winning another or getting another kill for his team in this team fight with a flash cocoon. So you can still be a stun bot on Elise, of course, even from behind. And he's showing that once again, she's not actually that useless if the rest of the team is strong. So of course, you want to accelerate Elise, but from behind, if you adapt your playstyle like the NK did in this game, you can sometimes still be useful. Now, Baron over Team Secret, wow, 3k gold lead. Dragon is up in 50 seconds, so it's enough time to reset to contest this one. And EVOS is looking at a very hard next 10 minutes to come back here.
Yeah, absolutely. And here is this replay.
So the teleport is what turns. Both teleports come in. Coated arrives a little bit earlier, but he gets the suplex off, and then it's But One not having the biggest of impacts. But One immediately going down. Nice focus there as well. And then we see Flash Cocoon. There we go. Bang. Very nicely done from Team Secret, just going front to back, basically, with a very good flank from Coated and everyone else fighting in a straight line, so that But One couldn't do anything there. He got exhausted immediately, so the crocodile was just turned into a crocodile meat. I'm not sure.
Yeah, crocodile steak. Yeah, crocodile steak. You can eat crocodile. Tastes like chicken. It's actually pretty nice. Bit stringy. So I mean, I just want to kind of say there, we talk about scaling and item timings a lot, because those are the sort of tangible things we can talk about. Who wins a team fight based on what their champions do? Ooh, shite. That's not good. I just punched my keyboard and flicked us back to the start of the broadcast. Whoops, sorry, everyone. We are back to live. My apologies. Don't punch your keyboard, kids. That's all right. We are fine now. Yeah, so what I was saying is we kind of talk about these tangible things that we can predict. We know what items do. We know what champions do at certain items. That team fight was more intangible. It was just well played by Secret.
Yeah, a little bit of an overstay for EVOS as well. They didn't realize that there was a flank ward in the back, and then Coated, of course, had the free way to just get on top of Divkit. Divkit flashed out, so he actually got away initially, but yeah, it was not enough, but we might see the last-ditch effort here.
Yep, here is the engage. Parquet throws his clone forward, but Venus, once again, going forward on this recant, stuffed that one a little bit. As he goes down immediately, we should see Coated falling as well. Huge bullet time! And I don't even know what did that huge chunk of damage. The Azir just going in, doing so much just with his abilities. And suddenly, despite going 2 for 1, the health bar damage is so big that they get the inhib anyway. Artifact, mate!
Yeah, that's what happens if you accelerated Azir with 2 items, and the second item is the hat. So he is sitting on something like 350 AP, and that hurts, as we can see there. Wow. Coated and Venus get caught, but they still win the bot lane inhibitor. They got the Baron Dragon, of course, beforehand. So, well, he was...
It's so strange to see Azir damage like that, right? We don't normally... Like, Azir obviously does a lot of damage, but that wasn't his ult, but it was just like a singular nuke. That was insane.
Yeah. I mean,
here's a replay.
Super strong. Let's look at this again. Keep your eyes on Azir. He gets the lethal tempo here, so he has a lot of attack speed. Actually, wears off again. So now Azir is just fighting very defensively. And when does he re-engage with the soldiers? Here they come, and
that
not a lot of them. But there we go. Woo-hoo. Bullet time and double soldier stab on B, and he just goes down immediately. Wow, that was a brawl, by the way. One of the tankiest supports.
I'd actually like to say that wasn't the Azir damage. That was set damage. We miscalled that. Right. It was a haymaker. That ability does a lot of damage.
It does. The haymaker got out. I mean, Azir still dealt with a fair amount
of damage, of course, but the big chunk was Coated, who, despite being caught, in that situation, that most of the time you're just looking to use your haymaker for the shield, right? Having the awareness to go, hang on a minute, I can just chuck it into 3 people and deal a whole hell of a lot of true damage before I die. Looked really good. Helped them secure the inhib. Team Secret, is the slump over?
Well, after this game, I'm not willing to say that. DNK looked very rough early on. EVOS is not the greatest team ever, and they're playing But One in the top lane, so not sure what their plan was coming into today. It does look a little bit better for Team Secret, but of course we're playing best of 3, so it's not the time to be alleviated already. They need to secure the victory here. If they fall 1-2, it's just as bad as falling 0-2 in this situation.
It's very true. They do need to keep it going, but I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic than you, my friend. I'm going to say Team Secret is looking damn good. Venus is playing out of his mind. Kind of stuffed that last engage a bit, but other than that, he's looked really good on this Rakan. One little blip. I think they've all looked really good. DNK, yeah, was super rough, but Coated, Artifact, and Venus have all looked great. Celebrity hasn't had to do much, so he hasn't done much.
Yeah. Typical celebrity, which means he will get the MVP, of course.
Harsh. True, but harsh.
So, no. I mean, he's doing his job. And he's actually, we have to credit the bot lane a lot for surviving this very hard matchup. This is not a matchup where you should be able to survive this easily. And Celebrity and Venus, on these two champs, they don't really have a lot of synergy. I mean, they have the bullet time synergy, but prior to level 6...
Ooh, but here's the flank coming in. But one has found the bot line, but he's just getting CC'd forever. Hasn't done much of anything. Coded will be the first one to go down. But one won't be cleaned up by the bullet time. He's on fractions of health. B flashing forward to try and lock up the spider. But here is the Nico re-engaged, but the wall does a lot to keep Celebrity safe. Sword has gotten on top of him, though. This is all on Artifact, but he can't do enough. And I gotta... I thought they were back, but they just get aced. That's a disaster here. And I was oh, no.
How did that happen? Interesting. Wow, the teleport for bot one did not look like it would achieve a lot, but it gave enough time. Oh, Soul is up as well. Oh, wow. This is a big change in the game for EVOS. They get Baron and Dragon Soul, which might actually be enough to propel them to a better position in terms of team fighting. Oh, the reset. Yeah, but one has time to get the Dragon Soul himself. Yeah, he should be able to do so. Dragon is actually hurting him a lot, but it's still sustain, and Divkid is here as well. So easy secure on the two objectives, and now 3k gold lead, 2k gold lead, almost for EVOS, which means items should be even, but there's a lot of extra stats from Infernal Soul, of course.
That was a bit of a disaster. Low-key, Secret just had a bit of a throw. And here is this replay.
It's another overstay.
Where does this go wrong?
So, but one comes from the flank, but no one... Oh, they actually flash away from him and focus him, but he has a very good stopwatch. So that means he gets out, which means there's not time board for the side of EVOS to focus on the other members, which means... There we go. Very nice turn from Parquet. He caught both of the backline carries with one E, which means he turned the whole fight by just stunning down Artifact and Celebrity.
This is back on live, just by the way.
Oh, wow.
As Divkid has gotten the kill onto Artifact. They enter it back onto Thorn.
Shut down, though.
But the Azir going down is a very big deal here. That is the big damage dealer for Team Secret at the moment. This mid lane should be opened up. A mid lane outer at this stage of the game.
But one.
Secret does not need to overcommit to this one.
Well, suddenly the game looks like it's in EVOS' favor, and we priced Team Secret too early. Will EVOS be able to get this win anyway? They still need to get a lot of objectives, and Dragon Soul kind of equalizes the scaling to a certain amount, especially if they can catch Artifact again and again. But Artifact is still a big threat, and Celebrity also is sitting on a lot of items. Now Bloodthirster completed. So in a pure 5v5, there is still a way to victory for Team Secret for sure.
Yeah, Secret might have to pull out some secret strats at this point, because it's a bit disastrous going up against this Soul. They are. This kind of exemplifies the DNK just being a bit of a stun bot at this point. That might not be enough if you're kind of playing 4.5v5 and the scaling's being equalized by the Dragon Soul. This game might just be decided at Elder. And I'm not sure, and I think it's going to be a very even fight.
Yeah, all the kills went over to Divkid, which is pretty good for EVOS. Of course, he's not sitting on the big backline hyper carry like an Aphelios or something, but it's still nice to have more utility and more survivability on this Kalista, which means she can fight very, very aggressively. She can try to look for the flank, try to look for the 1v1 against Celebrity, of course. So now Divkid on a 650 gold shutdown, and they need to contain him in the next team fight, because if he's able to hop around like crazy, like he did in the last team fight, might cause a lot of trouble for Team Secret.
Yeah, very much could. They do still have the advantage of having a very strong front line, something that EVOS doesn't have in terms of tankiness, but the engage has been used. Fate's call comes out. Coded is just going to die, uses the suplex to buy time, tries to flash away. The bullet time is damn good, so it's actually DivKid going down as well. This could be a bit of a turn, but one will make sure that it's a 2-for-1.
It's only at least, though. They still have both their carries alive.
This is a big deal here. That turn kill, really well done there by Coded to buy just enough time with how long he lived to get the kill on DivKid. That's a huge deal. That stops the push.
Yeah, completely. So even though it's a 2v1, 2-for-1 in kills, and gold goes over to EVOS, it's not the worst result for Team Secret. They get more time to farm up, more time to get more items on Artifact, and DivKid as well, and Celebrity, of course, which means... Oof, this is getting dicier and dicier. The next big objective is, of course, the Baron, and on the other side of the map, the Elder Dragon. And the game might be decided at the Elder Dragon fight.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those situations where the Elder Drake and the Baron spawn very, very close together, separated by about 15 seconds, or maybe 20, if I can count. So there is theoretically time for one of the teams to rush Baron down and then immediately turn on Elder, but that's such a big risk. And, I mean, potentially. Ooh, a bit of a catch, though. Venus, once again, finding an engage. Has used the ult. Sorn, though, is Olaf. He can run away, but that is a big ult to get. B now caught in the cocoon, but is saved by the Fate's call. That's two very big ultimates down, though, for the side of EVOS. There's nothing to get for Secret, though, unfortunately. It's just not going to matter.
They only traded for Rakan ults, but the cooldowns at this stage of the game should be short enough so that the ults are back available for the next big fight. So, as you just pointed out, not the biggest win for Team Secret there, might actually not matter at all. Especially Olaf ult is already almost off cooldown again. So, yeah, that's actually didn't do anything for Team Secret. A little bit of a hype moment, and if they had gotten the kill, it would have potentially given them a vision advantage. But this way, oh wow, they might try another engage on DivKid. He's slow.
Yeah, Venus was looking for it, but all of the slows out of the Glacial Augment from Nico very much held them back and looked down in the bot lane. But one has said, sure, you can do that all you like. I'm going to take your bot lane inhib. They need to send something. This is so well timed here. But one just has to buy a little bit of time. Doesn't even have to get the inhib. Coded is 2 levels down on him. Has Celebrity in backup, but this is 2 being sent to answer the Crocodile. Can we see the instant turn on to Baron? It's a big deal if they kill him for sure. They'll get his GA. Celebrity needs to kite back. Look at that lifesteal. It's damn good. The inhib goes down though. And EVOS is on Baron. Coded is trying to still chase but one. This is actually getting really dicey. Celebrity can't get to this fight. They're going to go for the engage anyway. Artifact has to do absolutely everything, but they can't get towards the Baron. This is a disaster. It's Baron for but one, and but one got it in him.
But one is still down for 1 minute. You could just rush the Elder Dragon.
No, they want to take the fight here. They're fighting! What? This is insane! In goes Venus, he stuffs the engage again though! Coded's coming around the back, Artifact is completely caught out here, uses the wall to buy some space, huge bullet time will do a lot, but Artifact is dead! This is all on Celebrity! Live up to your name, son! You have to do everything right now! You are keeping your team in it, and he's doing it! He's managing it! DivKid, the only one left alive! Coded wants to charge forward, can he get a face breaker? It's hard against a Callista. Celebrity now, strutting forward. They should be able to catch him. This should be the ace. This is a huge turnaround. A fight they should not have taken should turn into the big win for Team Secret. And Elder Dragon is still on the map. We're not done.
It is. And they need to recall to death the bot lane. So it's just pure chaos in this game. Second Baron over to
VCS, I've missed you. Thank you for coming back.
The perfect game to come back to. It's just pure chaos. Both teams are not quite sure how to win this game. I think Team Secret had a super good advantage there to just get the Elder Dragon. For some reason, they didn't want to go for the Elder, but in the end, it works out for them because Elder is still on the menu, and they might just rush it anyway. Wow, Coded. That
was actually
not how you want.
It's actually a pretty big deal as well. They lost quite a lot of Celebrity's DPS time, but I don't think it'll matter.
Yeah, Sorn is too far away, so no smite. So this should. Oh wow, Azir could please clear the waves.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to Elder Azir. Hello? He's just wandering around in his jungle, letting the minions kill his turret potentially. Well,
That's
that
not
was
good, yeah.
some interesting movement from Artifact. But they still get the big objective, and now it's fighting time. Now it's very hard to fight into Team Secret.
Oh, man. Oh, man. What a fight. Here is the replay. Tell us what's going on. This is going everywhere.
So I think we need to focus on Artifact and Celebrity. Artifact in the start kites back a lot.
Look where Celebrity is. He's miles away.
Yeah, he has Strut though, so he's super fast. The teleport comes in for the re-engage, but Artifact is still not really dealing any DPS. So now he's trying, but B blocks a lot. Artifact has still only auto-attacked once. Now he gets his ult in. It still immediately goes down. So Artifact, even though he's super strong in Azir, did not contribute much to the fight. But Celebrity is finally here, and he's turning this around. B, once again, with very good positioning, but a little bit too squishy in the end to turn this fight once again. Because if B... if Divkit didn't have didn't stopwatch there, B might have bought enough time for Divkit to 1-1 Celebrity there.
Potentially.
Not super likely, but potentially.
Yeah, and
in the end.
I also want to shout out Coated, who did so much as a tank there. He went in basically 1v5 on the backside because, I mean, Team Secret apparently just wants to make me look silly because I was saying how good a game Venus was having. He's now stuffed 2 engages. He stuffed it again there.
Yeah, it's true.
But Coated went in with him and stayed alive for so long, and he was still that front line that in that final 2v2 was making sure Celebrity was safe. Celebrity, of course, played it super well as well, but it was a team effort. That is a 5-item misfortune.
Yeah, she's very scary and very hard to kill. She has double lifesteal, maybe even triple lifesteal if she went for the bloodline, which is quite likely. And then also penetration now. She has a little bit of attack speed, and Strut gives her more attack speed as well. She doesn't actually need an attack speed item, of course, on this champ. So she's probably sitting at something like 400 AD, which is, of course, very, very scary also for ultimate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not for this ultimate, though. It was not nicely positioned.
Well, it's got a pretty short cooldown, as they are just going to siege onto the mid lane. There's not much EVOS can do into the Elder Drake buff. This could be Team Secret recovering
both of the objectives.
They could have recovered from their early little wobble in that mid-game fight where we thought maybe it had all gone wrong. But at the moment, everything's going pretty right for Team Secret.
So Elder Dragon wore off. I think if Elder Dragon did not wear off there, they could have gone for the bot lane inhibitor too, which without minions, the pro teams don't really like to rush inhibitors without minions. But in this situation, if you have Elder advantage, you could have gone for it anyway. They decided to back away and clear out the minions instead. Also because, of course, the buff was not there anymore. So that makes a lot of sense. A little bit unfortunate for Team Secret to only get one inhibitor out of this one. And it's only the mid lane inhibitor. So EVOS has actually endured the Elder Dragon duration. And this game will extend to the second Elder Dragon.
Not something we say in the VCS very often. But who knows? No. We have been away for what feels like a few years. Quarantine truly taking a tax on my soul at the moment. But we have only been gone a week. But maybe they've practiced a few things. Maybe the games will be going a little bit longer in the VCS these days. And if they're as hype as this one, you won't catch me complaining.
Yeah. So once again, let's check in with the items. You pointed out the 5-item MF. She was super strong. We also have a 5-item Kalista. 5-item Kalista not quite as scary as 5-item MF because her items don't scale with each other.
They're also triple defensive.
Yeah, very, very defensive setup. So Divkit can contribute a lot of damage, but in terms of DPS and how much damage he's able to do in a burst setting, it's definitely inferior to the to Celebrity. And Celebrity is quite defensive as well with the double lifesteal setup and flash available, so it's not easy to catch Celebrity out. Other than that, top lane looks like 4 items are completed on either side, coded much more tanky, but one much more scary for the backline. But yeah, I don't think he has the damage to really kill Celebrity here. Mid lane is both mid laners sit on 4 items with a lot more AP on Artifact side, but a lot more utility on Parker's side. So if Parker is able to slow field everyone and then catch ults to set up the other ones, the other players on the team, of course, then it's valuable. But just in terms of pure damage, TS had so much more, and they are eyeing the Baron again.
Look down in the bot lane.
Double Renekton.
Double
Oh, gosh.
Renekton. Oh, WTF, two Croc. But no, of course, one is the Chameleon. They will try and get this bot in here and potentially trade it for Baron. And
Son is able to steal.
Venus went over to make sure he couldn't steal. Baron is secured. The inhib goes down. But I think Secret's okay with this. This does open up the possibility of a base race.
Yeah, luckily for them, actually, the botlane inhibitor going down is not too close because the botlane inhibitor is in the closest to the Elder Dragon. So usually you don't like your bottom inhibitor going down because of Baron positioning, of course. But they have secured Baron already, so now they can just push down bot lane and get ready for the next Elder Dragon that spawns in 30 minutes. They got
30 minutes. Whoa, he's coming in a bit late.
Yeah, 30 seconds. I'm sorry, of course. Yeah, very late Elder Dragon. We might see another one in 30 minutes.
To be fair, elders should be staying in at the moment. You know, elders. It's dangerous with the coronavirus. Got to stay in. Maybe he shouldn't come out. And I think if he does come out, he'll die. So Elder Drake, just don't do it. As there is a bit of vision being cleared here for Secret, and here he is. Grandad has decided to go to the shops. Not his best decision, but he's made it. As Team Secret will get the start. This is the game-deciding fight.
And can EVOS fight even? There's a little bit of a flank. Yeah. But one is trying to go for the flank here, but can he actually do anything to Celebrity is the question. With all the shields, all the lifesteal, the QSS as well. Swan, yeah, that's right. They have the Elise combo bursts if they want to go for it.
Equalized by the Callista, though. But one does a bit. Oh, this is really bad here. EVOS have just kept going at it. They could get this for free up in the air, and there it is, secured here for EVOS. This is disaster. But look at Conan. He's got 4 in the CC, trying to buy as much time as he can. But no, it's all going wrong. Team Secret, what can you do? The bullet time is massive, though, doing so much damage, but they're all too low. The Dragon's going to start roaring, and as much as they want to keep it going, it's not going to be enough. The ace. And EVOS, they're going to take the game. Triple kill for DivKid. What is going on? VCS, I love you.
Pure chaos once again, and for no reason whatsoever, EVOS takes the dragon. Team Secret had so much better positioning, and they just weren't aware of the health bar for some reason. They had full vision on the health bar, but they were not aware of the amount of burst coming the way for EVOS, and focused the big Elder Dragon. And why not? You win the game if you get Elder Dragon in the late game. So EVOS takes the fight, takes the Elder Dragon.
What an absolute cracker. Just an absurd game to bring us back to the VCS. EVOS now up 1-0 in a game that I don't think too many of us were backing them after we saw how the early game and the mid game were going. But it's the VCS, and anything can happen, and it's always going to be fun. What does this even mean for the rest of this series?
Well, can Team Secret come back from this one? Because that has to hurt a lot. They had the Baron, they had the positioning on the Dragon, they had the better scaling composition. All the cards were on the table, everything was in their favor, and they lost. So now they have to face the possibility of going down 0-2 to EVOS on continuing their loss streak to all 3 competitors in terms of fourth and third place. That would be horrifying for this squad. That's started 5-2 in round. It's time. It's crunch time for them. They need to come in. They need to improve, and they need to show us that they are indeed the third place team. If they're not able to lock down the next game, well, Secret might even fall out of playoffs.
Potentially. But before we go to a little bit of a break to get ourselves ready for game 2, because I know my throat needs to recover, we do have to pick an MVP for game 1. It's hard. Like, DivKid obviously had a very good Callista performance. Parquet had some really big Nico ults and big Tangle Barbs as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Sorn, obviously.
Yeah, I think it has to be DivKid for the late game contribution.
Yeah, I think
in the end he was the ADC in the late game, and they won the team fights, and he got all the kills. So
I agree. So let's
I think it's good here.
let's lock that one in. Our first MVP after our little Corona holiday. But we will be going to a bit of a break so we can refresh ourselves and make sure we're ready to bring you game 2, which hopefully is just as hype. And maybe even we get the third game and we can have a cracker of a series. We'll find out in a little bit. I, as always, have been every day. Thank you for being here with me, Yulwei. Oops. Punch my mic a bit. I'm punching everything today. But we'll be back in just a little bit to see if EVOS can close it out. I'm so happy. I'm so happy it's back. But we'll be back soon. I'll try and calm down a little bit.
See you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. And after an absolute cracker of a game 1, EVOS is out to a 1-0 lead in our returning series. Thanks, everyone, for staying tuned in. How could you leave after that game 1? But Yulwei, bring us back down to earth. What needs to happen in game 2?
Oh man, what an absolute cracker of a first game for the first day back. But well, EVOS got away with murder, kind of. They had no right winning this game after giving up both of the big objectives, or at least the Elder Dragon, of course. Well, I think EVOS should still try to improve their drafting. I'm not too sold on the Renekton, especially in the hands of But1. I think he had a pretty quiet game once again. Maybe put in TH again. Not sure what's going on with TH. Maybe he's quarantined or something and can't play. Who knows? We don't have information. So, I'd like to see TH back in, but EVOS, this should be a big morale boost, and Team Secret needs to reset their mental. They need to reset everything they knew about the series and just try again. Try to forget about this first game. Try to forget that it ever happened.
Yep, just play 2 best of 1s, boys. 2 best of 1s. I mean, it's interesting because some teams will be more broken mentally when they just get stomped, and others will be more broken from a game like that where one bad decision, one bad fight lost them the game. We have to see which kind of team the Secret is, because we don't know.
Yeah, for me it feels worse to lose from a winning position where you know you had all the trumps. You should be able to lock down the game, and then you throw for no reason whatsoever, and the enemy team gets away with the victory. Where you know you should have had this game in the back. So yeah, I think this tilts a little bit more, but these are professional players, so they should be able to adapt to the situation and reset. Try to come up with a different draft, maybe. I'm not too sure about the Azir mid lane, I have to say. I still think Artifact is better on more aggressive champs like Tristana, like Lucian. Of course, this whole season has been a little bit of a struggle for him. He went back to a very control magey style. Did not work out for him. So maybe try to change your approach to the mid lane draft as well. Yep. The Elise didn't work out early on. So I'd like to see something like Olaf, Cassiopeia, Olaf, let's say, Olaf Syndra, very strong mid 2v2, and maybe play through that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'd like to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing DNK as well. Maybe not on the Elise, maybe on something that he can kind of chill out a little bit more. Doesn't have so much imperative on him in the early game, because it really didn't work out. Maybe we play that game again and DNK has a better early game. Maybe things go differently. In fact, I think they almost certainly do. So I think there's things that both teams can change here. I think one of the big questions, and something that we can't see because obviously we don't have the footage of GG Stadium, and I don't think they're playing that. I don't know, maybe. Wherever they are, we don't know who's playing next game. Do you bring Hani in? I think Coded had a good game, but do you bring him in just to kind of reset the team a little bit?
Depends on how important Hani is for the communication, because I think there were some weird calls here and there. Don't think they should have taken the Baron fight, even though they won the fight. So in the end, in hindsight, it looks like a good fight. It didn't really appeal to me as something they should have won there. So I think maybe if Hani can improve the communication a little bit, then Hani in is a good option, especially against But1. I don't think But1 is good enough to punish Hani in lane. Especially if you draft around Hani's weaknesses, maybe give him a little bit of an easier to lane champ, maybe a mage, maybe a full tank. I think Hani in for Coded is a good call. Coded didn't really have a bad game either, though. So I think it's also fine to just have Coded play the next game as well, and try to just reset and play this as if it were the first game of the series.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, while we are waiting for champion select here, let's look on the EVOS side. They're obviously the winners, coming in feeling pretty good. Did you like their comp in game one, or do you think they went a little bit too all in on the early game and were kind of saved by the Dragon Soul? Oh, but never mind, we're in champ select. But finish the thought.
But yeah, I definitely think that is the case. I was not in love with their composition. As we see, TH is back in, so our hero has finally stepped up to this game as well. Of course,
we were holding out for a hero.
I'd like to see a little bit more late game insurance. At least you don't have to play late game comp, but maybe at least 1 or 2 champs that are also able to contribute something to the late game. This was just 2 dragons bringing the victory to EVOS. If the Dragon Soul and the last Elder Dragon hadn't happened, EVOS would have lost the last game. So a little bit lucky there. Maybe a little bit of fumbled for Team Secret as well. And immediately Heroes in, and we see the Vladimir ban. That is his special pick, of course.
Yep.
So no surprises there.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Both of these bans so far are very targeted. Don't want Hero on his Vlad. Don't want Sorn on his Jarvan. On the other side, EVOS just banning tier list. Both of those champions, a little bit broken on 10.5. Aphelios has just been broken for, I don't know, what patch did he get added? 10.2 or something?
9 something?
9?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Whatever it was.
10 maybe.
He's been broken since then. But
so I wanted to say something about J4 here, because J4 ban is actually interesting. As you rightfully pointed out, it's Sorn's most played and maybe even most successful champ this season, but he hasn't actually touched Jarvan in weeks. He played 9 Jarvan games and then never ever touched Jarvan again. So it's a little bit surprising to me that they ban away the Jarvan here. Sorn has been much more likely to go to something like Trundle. He went to Olaf in the last game, which actually wasn't his first Olaf game, so a little surprised about the Jarvan ban. And set was left open. Instead, Blitzcrank ban. I really have to question these last 2 bans for Team Secret. Is it really valuable to ban the Blitzcrank over set when set had such a huge impact in the last game? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a very odd decision in my opinion. They opt into the Renekton half of that trade again. Well, they actually had the set half last game, right? They traded. They've swapped their top lanes. They've swapped their top lane, which is very, very weird, just in general, because I think set had much more impact on the game, partially because of how much pressure was actually sent up there. Maybe if that had been a pure 1v1, the Renekton would have been able to get far ahead. But EVOS, they're just locking the Kalista again. Are we getting the salty run back, but the top laners are swapped?
It seems like it. Yeah, both teams seem to be very set in their ways when it comes to picks. No on hover whatsoever, which is a little bit surprising. We are still on 10-5, so on is not bad. Of course, on can struggle in the VCS a little bit, where game time is the lowest of any league, of any big league. I'm not actually sure about the wildcard regions, but yeah. 31 minutes and I think 8 seconds or something is our average, which means on can coast by and then not really do anything in the game, because the game is already decided when he gets his items. So I can understand the deprioritization of on a little bit, but it's still would be a solid option here.
Yep, absolutely. And the Mordekaiser are coming in. Well, you got to talk to us about this EVOS team comp. What's the deal? Set support? Set jungle? Mordekaiser mid?
Well, it's likely going to be Mordekaiser top lane, actually, because TH has played it a lot, and he likes his AP champs in the top lane. So this set has just forced the Renekton pick, which is interesting. Renekton into Mordekaiser should still be a winning matchup for Renekton.
Yeah.
But Hero is very, very comfortable on this champ. So Mordekaiser also saw a lot of priority in the VCS. He's still sitting on a 54% win rate, roughly. So still quite a good champ. I personally don't like him a lot, but whatever. We might see the Kalista set bot lane, which is very scary in laning phase and also very good later on, where Set can play ultra aggressive, dive into the backline, and then get bailed out with the Fate's Call. So I like this combination a lot. It's also not bad in laning phase. So would really like to see the Set flex here.
Do you think it might have been a little bit better to save the Mordekaiser pick? Like, why reveal it in the first phase? It's not going to get banned because they're always going to read that Set's your top laner. And you could have just secured a jungler or like a support. I mean, obviously, maybe not the support if it's going to be Set support, but you could have secured a jungler. I think it's interesting. I like the flex. I think Set support's really, really fun. I think Set Callista is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's also one of the best lanes for Set.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think you had to pick it that early. But Rek'Sai is going to be the jungler. She did get through. Still a good champion. I don't think EVOS is too upset at that one.
We still go back to the Rek'Sai Elites matchup after all. 3 junglers are banned, and we still get this premier early game jungler matchup. Wow, EVOS really likes their champs. They seem to really believe in their preparation today. Another Nico game, another Callista game, another Set was on the other side, of course. So few changes here and there, but the main outlook of the team comp is still the same. Very early, a lot of CC in team fights, not the biggest amount of damage. On the other side, this time around, we get the Cassiopeia. So still backline carry-wise, Team Secret is locked in a little bit of a stronger combination between the ADC and mid laner. But EVOS has so much CC, so much ability to take fights wherever they want, and the Death Realm as well. So this is a very exciting composition for EVOS.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Parquet looked pretty good on the Nico. So I don't mind them running it back. Very, very... I think it's hard to say what these comps are going to do here. I like Artifact going to the Cassiopeia, as you said. I think it's better than the Azir for him. I think it'll have better results. But considering that this Team Secret lineup is pretty much the same as their first game, obviously Cassiopeia and Azir are different champions, but they kind of do the same thing. They're late game mid laners. What are you thinking?
It's even easier to catch Cassiopeia.
True.
Especially for Nico. So Nico Cassiopeia is an interesting matchup because in 1v1, Cassiopeia should almost always win. But Nico can actually cause a lot of trouble for Cassiopeia, especially late game, where she comes from the flank with a lot of movement speed and then just locks down Cassiopeia to make her available for her teammates to take down. It's not really about Nico solo killing Cassiopeia or anything. She's more the facilitator. A very interesting champ in that she fulfills a role not a lot of control mages like her do. Like she's a very weird mix between control mage and something like Galio, where she plays a little like Galio in later team fights with a lot of CC, but still has the control mage aspects, also with Glacial Augment, a lot of slowing going on. So I like to watch Nico a lot. Don't think this composition once again kind of lacks a hyper carry for EVOS, while on Team Secret side we have hyper carry Cassiopeia and Celebrity. We saw last game already how much damage the MF can do in team fights as well. So DPS wise, Team Secret once again an advantage, and they have the more standard composition, but EVOS's comp is very, very fun to watch.
Yeah, very, very true. As we did see, we've returned to the realm of Miss and Mordecai. Sorry about that. I just had to fix something. Something on my desk is broken. So just had to fix that up real quick. But we are okay. Just heading into game.
That's good to hear. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. I just had to sit down. My standing thing broke.
No.
I can fix it in the break. I just can't fix it right now. But we are on the Rift.
So just the first thing my eyes go to are runes all the time, and we see some very interesting runes here on EVOS' side. Look at that. It's Conqueror Rek'Sai, which is something we don't really like to see. I think Hell of Blades is the preferred rune for our cast, but it's still an okay choice. And then we have look at these.
Look at this top lane trade, by the way.
Coated. I think TH wins this. No. Wait. Whoa.
That was close.
That was very close. He could have flash auto attack there.
I don't think it would have quite killed.
No?
No, I think it would have been very, very close. And I think I actually like the call not to follow flash, because now you just have a flash advantage, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you get the first blood, you have a big advantage as well.
But,
that's fair.
That's
probably more of a solo queue play.
Yeah, if it was 100% the auto attack would kill it, then yeah, flash. But I think it was might not quite have been enough. So I actually like the restraint from Coated. See what they are.
Both top laners need to teleport very early on. Teleport changes came in 10.6, so it's not that bad to teleport on level 1 on this patch. Of course, if you do that on live patch, you actually get punished by having a 7-minute TP cooldown, which is quite excessive. But on this patch, it's still the same, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. But look at B's rune choice. I want to touch on that. That is an Omni Stone.
Okay.
I've seen this once before. Omnistone set support seems to be something people play.
That's very strange. And down in the bot lane, we'll have to see how that Omnistone will do, as he is in the front line. Uses the Haymaker. Celebrity nearly goes down. And Parquet's going to arrive. Can they find anything? Will the tank... the Cocoon went on the clone, but no Tangle Barb thrown out. Very, very close stuff. But an advantage overall for Secret, I think, because Artifact got a bit of lane time to himself.
And I'm not sure if I like the teleport there for Parquet. This might have been another time where the very famous Vietnamese, or VCS, I should say, VCS overly scared teleport maybe is the right thing to say, where you see your teammates struggling and you immediately press TP, even though you don't need to. Oh, DNK looks for the
bot lane. B is caught out again, goes for the Haymaker. Can he get under tower? He did use the flash.
Oh, interesting
and
flash.
Manages to slip away. It's a game of inches here. We've had 3 potential kills decided by about 100 health. Exciting stuff here in the VCS.
We tried to do something very, very cool there. And against any other jungler, this would have worked with the flash Haymaker back towards his tower while his Haymaker was still pointing towards the enemy jungler. So that would have killed DNK, but DNK just repelled. So not quite successful there. And a lot of attention early on for Team Secret for the bot lane, but they can't get the kill. So now EVS has the opportunity to get counterplay in the top. Okay, Sorn just taking minions. Okay, TH is not too happy with that one. Sorn just came to steal some experience.
They're pushing it in. They want the dive.
Wow, that's super aggressive. Very, very bold. Yeah, I think they realized they can't actually go for that.
TH? That's an interesting decision. But in the end, it's not terrible.
And a lot of experience for Sorn. Sorn actually hit level 5 before anyone else in this game. So very far ahead. Once again, Sorn showing us his pathing prowess on multiple champions now. Or Olaf in the first game, where he was 2 and 3 levels ahead in the jungle matchup. And once again, 2 levels ahead very early on in the game, where DNK went for ganks. They didn't really pay off, and Sorn with an immediate advantage. We might see a good jungle skirmish where Sorn can just utilize the 2-level advantage and kill DNK straight up.
Yeah, it's potentially true as we do look down at the bot lane. B has fleet footwork at the moment. I don't understand the Omnistone. Aftershock is just really good for Sat.
So which rune choices are good for Sat?
As support?
Conqueror? Generally.
Conqueror is the best. If you're in a really bad matchup, like you're against someone ranged, fleet footwork is good there. Aftershock can be pretty good. Some people go phase rush in the jungle. Not the jungle support sees any jungle support. Well, jungle set sees any play in professional, but some solo queue set mains will run that phase rush. And for support, I like Aftershock. I just don't understand Omnistone, because the problem with Omnistone is
Hail of Blades now.
Ooh, wow,
very fast.
Not very good for Set, because it only affects one auto. It's terrible.
Does not really do a lot for him.
Ooh, Hex Flash is coming in here though. We might have to come back to rune discussion, but doesn't time the phase breaker quite well enough. And Venus does Spider Nord away, so nothing found there for EVS. But just
still 170 damage on the backside there.
Yeah, set things
for some reason. The champ is able to do that.
Look, just because your champs aren't absolute chads. But to finish my point, like Omnistone, I get the theory, right? A lot of runes can be good on Set, but the reason I like just taking Aftershock is that it's always there.
Yeah, it's very consistent, and consistency is very important for pro play most of the time. So it's a little bit of a wild card, of course. Maybe you get the perfect rune for this one could actually be very important for a fight where you get the electrocute and then just kill all the enemy champs. One big burst comes out.
Yeah,
but I agree. I like the Aftershock a little bit more because it's more safe. Maybe he went for the... Oh, is this a contest? Son's level 6.
Looks
DNK
like
is still level
this is
5.
definitely a contest. It's over the wall comes Rek'Sai. Can they find anything? Parquet could hit a big
Parquet
tangle
from
barb,
the side.
and that is EVOS getting the dragon. Big tangle barb
Oh,
into the Pop
nice.
Blossom, and Pop does go secret. 2 of them go down. Everything goes EVOS's way. It's looking damn good for them.
Absolutely. And that was very ill advised for Team Secret. They should have known that there's a big jungle XP advantage, and they had no vision on Zorn, so it was pretty risky to go for the dragon. Also against Nico early on, it's quite hard to get away. She used the flash, ultimate, and E, and everything landed. So now it's a 2-kill advantage for EVOS, and looking at the 1.5k gold advantage as well. It's already going better than last game. And remember, they won last game. So
That's true. Yeah, and
this, of course, is the most important rune on Omnistone. You need to stack up this rune to make Omnistone really worth it, but he was not able to do so. So a little bit of an early loss when it comes to Omnistone.
The last point I wanted to make on that as the resident set player is that... Oh, never mind. We'll do it after this replay. This was just... there's not much.
So look at Parky at the side. Parky turns this fight around and secures the 2 very nice kills. E and ultimate, perfect. He waited for the flash, actually. I'm not sure if it was a prediction or if he just anticipated where the enemy would go, but very nice E. Locking down 2 targets at once and securing both of the kills. So far, MVP of the first fight for sure, Parky.
And here is a bit of pressure onto Zorn's jungle here. DNK still level 5. His pathing has been atrocious today. Really bad.
He does not know how to path, it seems. The old me coming back after 2 weeks.
It's been 10 years of quarantine and still DNK does not know. Oh, man. Quarantine, hey?
And this is starting to look very, very scary for you, for Team Secret. If they go down 0-2 to EVOS, their game score will suffer as well. I think they're at +4. Check. Yeah, they're at +4. So going down to +2 if they lose today, 0-2, which means they still have a better game score than EVOS, actually. With EVOS will go up to 14-14, so ±0. So in the end, Team Secret will still be ahead of EVOS in the standings, but only by 2 games in terms of game score, even in series at 6 wins. So it's starting to look rough. And Team Secret, you have to remember, these are the easier games for them. They still have Gum and Flash on the menu. So if they lose today, it's really looking dire.
I just learned that you can TP to a Rek'Sai tunnel.
Yeah, it has a health bar. I think everything that has a health bar you can TP to.
Well, and Jarvan flag.
All right, that's true.
Which doesn't have a health bar.
You don't actually need a health bar.
It's weird. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. If you can TP to Jarvan flag, you should be able to TP to Rek'Sai tunnel.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense.
But I hadn't seen it before, so we're all learning a little bit today, or maybe just me. As Team Secret does have big priority on the bot side here. The EVOS bot lane has backed off quite a lot, so a turret plate or 2. But Coded could be in trouble in the top side. The Prey Seeker misses, but this is still a level 7 Rek'Sai. Can we get the flash knock up? There's the Dominus. They could just wait this out, but they're choosing not to. They want to go forward onto him. Hero has to back off. Should be an easy kill with the Rek'Sai ult, but no! It's all gone wrong! They've stopped it! They're going to turn this! Oh, good lord! Oh, in the end, it's a 1-for-1 as Hero hits the Death Grasp. But Zorn did not do well there.
He did not use his flash to get away from the turret. That is quite surprising. He thought he had the kill, and then Dominus gave Coded so much HP back. So suddenly the fight was turned around. And the first kill for Secret, that has to be a morale boost. And it's coming from top lane. Top lane was struggling. No, actually, top lane won from the start. So Coded is the one to hold up Team Secret. The newest member might be able to carry them to a victory in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. In the end, in terms of the direct top lane matchup, it's not that bad. Because Hero did get the kill in the end, so it kind of evens out. It's obviously, they would have much rather just get a kill and get the Mordekaiser ahead. But at the very least, he's remaining even. Does have the slightest of CS leads as well. So I think top lane is still going to be a bit of just a back and forth for a while.
Yeah. And Mordekaiser is a better scaling champ than Renekton. He can struggle to have impact because of his lack of engage, but he at least forces the QSS tags later on, especially from champs like MF. MF really struggles into Mordekaiser. Champs like Kalista can actually forego the QSS sometimes and just take the fight to the Mordekaiser. Say, okay, I'm not locked here in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
I watched that.
That's
movie
not the
other day.
case.
Yeah, I watched it.
That's not the case for Celebrity, though, as he does not have any kind of ability. If Mordekaiser isolates him, he will just smash him. So Celebrity is forced to buy another QSS, which means TH already has kind of secured his value even without doing anything in this game. And if he's ahead, he's even scarier. So that's a good sign for EVOS.
Absolutely. Rift Herald has been summoned up here in the bot lane, but Team Secret is here in force. 8 people down in the bot lane. The hook will land onto Set. He's got the grasp at the moment. Has a lot of that pit grit. Here's the bullet time doing so much damage. Div Kid's low. Suplex in is used to escape. Coated in the death realm. Super low. He burns down. Out comes Mordekaiser with the extra stats, but it's not enough through all the CC, and it's a 2-for-1 in the favor of Team Secret.
So finally, and they get Team Secret making moves to come back into the game. They are still far behind in gold, though. So yes, especially because EVOS got the turret payoff there. So in the end, it's a 2-for-1, I think, in terms of kills. But they get the dragon on top of that. So a little bit more, stopping the dragon snowball, and we go to Cloud Rift. So dragon might lose a little bit of priority here.
Potentially.
So you might want to pause for 1 second. I think you're about 1 second ahead of me. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
Should be back in sync.
Hopefully fix things up. Sorry about that, everyone. If you want us to stop having to do resyncs, tell your local rioter that you want to see us official. Don't actually do that. Don't harass rioters.
So, of course, there we go. Venus hits the grab. Oh, DNK once again with a good flash cocoon. He's really on point with his flash cocoons in this series. And then the fight is just over. The bullet time, as you pointed out on cast, kind of prevented EVOS to re-engage. You can't really re-engage into full bullet time rain. I would have liked to see Hero ult Celebrity there instead of Coated. Of course, Coated was the easier kill for Hero, so it was a little bit selfish for him to go for the kill on Coated. But I think if he ulted Celebrity out of his bullet time, maybe EVOS could have turned the whole fight around.
Yeah, I don't think he was quite in range during the bullet time, so he would have had to kind of walk through it. And then he potentially loses the Death Realm duel. But I think that definitely would have had the higher payoff if it worked. I think ulting Coated was definitely the safer, more selfish play. But let's have a look in at the state of the game overall, and let's focus on important items, as most of these players are getting towards their first item, if not finished them, already finishing them. So who is currently stronger? It's not going to
Currently, well, we always have to compare the ADCs, and DivKid is just on a better one-item spiking ADC. So in terms of ADC, it's definitely DivKid. Other than that, top lane, I see an advantage in the 1v1 for TH. In terms of team fighting, I think both are equally strong right now. Jungle seems to be even. And mid lane, there's a little bit of an advantage building up for Artifact, but if Park is able to finish his GLP for the next team fight, he will be way better at controlling the space than Artifact is right now. Artifact is still scaling up, still building up this mana, and of course, Archangel stuff lost a lot of AP when I think the nerf came in like mid-season 9, where you only get 1% until it's completed. So right now, Artifact not the strongest snake ever, which means Parker should be strong here. The Chameleon should be better right now, which means overall EVOS is in a better position to fight.
Yeah, we do need to wait for Artifact to level up from just a noodle to a danger noodle when the snake gets a bit stronger. Rift Herald is on the map here. It's the second Rift Herald, not something that needs to be fought over, as B has a completely useless rune at the moment, just by the way. Glacial Augment? Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh, nice. He can slow auto attack. No, now he's back to Comet. Comet, another very useful rune.
For the record, this is why you just go Aftershock.
yeah, indeed.
Because if that happened at an important time. Like, that's why I don't like Omnizone. It's just not reliable.
He's not died yet, so I guess he doesn't need the Aftershock.
Okay,
We
fine.
might see another fight. Coated on the flank, yes, ult available and flash as well, but they are not strong enough, not enough manpower there to contest the early turret push. So EVS now 2 turrets up on them and 2k gold lead, a little bit more than 2k gold lead. Very nice start for EVS. Their team composition needs a little bit of gold lead. We haven't actually talked about the scaling.
Ooh, the hook though, we have to talk about this, and
yes,
that is Hero just getting completely CC'd out, had absolutely no hope in hell. Appropriate for Mordekaiser. You'd think he'd have a good hope in hell, but not this time. That is an easy kill, and Secret should be able to get this free Shirley and use that to get a bit of tempo on the map.
So, yeah, the second Rift World sometimes can be a little bit of an overly focused objective. Sometimes you just don't get a lot of value out of that, but now it's free, so why not take it? You get another kill, you close the gold gap a little bit, and if you are able to get this turret, the gold gap will actually go down to maybe even less than 1k. So I think it's a very good play to just force this Rift World immediately and get this mid lane outer turret. Of course, TH should be here to defend the next one, so it's just a one-turret trade. If you look at the overall state of the map, though, now the reset for Team Secret has to come in, and we're 30 seconds away from the next dragon, so they might have to give a priority over the next dragon and give over EVOS a second stack, which is not too bad because it's just the second dragon, and it's also looking at Cloud Drake. So, well, they can definitely live with that.
Yep, I definitely think that is a fair point. It's kind of hard to tell where this one's going to go. It seems to be a game of back and forth, no one really being able to get out to a dominant lead. So what are you sort of looking towards in terms of timings? That I don't know, maybe that's I don't know how to phrase this. This is kind of tricky to sort of analyze this game.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Both team compositions can do a lot of stuff, so it's very hard to say this team composition just straight up wins 5v5s later on. There's so much EVOS can change in their approach to team fights. Just in terms of pure damage, I definitely think they are inferior, as I said, in draft as well. So late game, it's easy to just favor Team Secret if you look at the carries, but maybe that's a little too easy because there's so much CC, so much control. Oh, we have another fight though. Coated on flank.
Coded has gone for the flank, but has been pushed back. His Slice and Dice is now on cooldown. Does still have the Dominus, though. 3,000 health on the Drake. And there they go in. It is secured here for Team Secret. Picked up by the Misfortune. We seem to be seeing that a lot. TH is in the Death Realm with DNK. He comes down from the rappel. He pops out. Can he get over the wall? He doesn't need to. He's still alive.
Wow.
But
He's still alive.
Turning it around with a huge pop blossom. This is even at the moment. Look at the health bars. They're so low. Sorn wants to get it done. Celebrity still very healthy. There's the turn out of the Renekton. Celebrity, mate. Can you do it again? He's got 2 already. The chop will come in. It's a double kill. Can he get the triple? Parker, you need to get the hell out of here. You're not doing anything. And Sorn gets another. Can he find a way out? He can, I think. He gets over the wall. It's 3 for 3. Sorn, you hero.
Sorn, the hero. Wow, Sorn actually turned this fight around completely on his own, to getting 2 kills on the backside. Of course, the kills will not do that much in the end for the Rexo. It's still a very hype moment. Sorn on a 3-1-3 lead early on. Team Secret gets the dragon, so well, I'd say it's a better play for Team Secret. They also get a lot of kills on Celebrity, who's now heavily accelerated. And TH looked very clumsy there in the team fight. Flashed over to secure the kill on DNK, not able to do so. And in the end, pretty useless Mordekaiser, especially compared to Renekton, who turned around, stunned a crucial target, and kind of started the second half of the fight very well for Team Secret.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the replay here to see the bullet time really only got the dragon.
Sadly, I'm a little bit behind, so
unfortunate.
I can't actually see what's going on in the replay, so please take it away.
But yeah, Parquet hit a huge ult there, doing so much damage and CC, which allowed them to turn it around. Artifact can't do anything here. He's just got to get out, which means it's a 3v3. It was a good turnaround by Coded, but not quite good enough. And then we need to watch Celebrity and Sorn. They're the ones that turn this. The stopwatch gets so much value.
Sorn gets out of here.
Yep.
That is so surprising.
And Artifact tried to come back after getting a bit of health, but he just didn't have any impact. Do we need to resync real quick?
So, I'm going to just restart the stream.
Yeah.
Then we We have some internet problems, sadly. Quarantine is not being kind to me.
Yeah, it's not being kind to many of us. As it looks like we will be setting up a potential dive here on Artifact. It's dangerous into the Petrifying Gaze, so EVOS actually do call it off. But Baron is alive. They want to get a little bit of vision control, because at the moment it's pretty dark. Oh, they just clear the vision ward and back off. They don't really have any wards to place of their own.
So we arrived definitely at the mid game and looking at late game prospects for this game, and it might just be another very close affair. We have a very even state right now. Oh, Conqueror! Wow, B rolled high here.
Yeah, for the next 5 seconds when nothing's happening. Cool.
And now he has to change again, and it's Aftershock. Yeah, yes, the two best runes straight. After each other, but now you will probably change to Predator again. That's how Omnistone works, because if you're far away, you just get Predator all the time. So that's why it's actually quite a good jungle rune, especially for champs that like to run Predator anyway.
Yeah.
So and not so great so far on B, but maybe you can show us a little bit more impact, maybe with a cool electrocute later on in the team fight or something like that. Yeah,
I agree. As down in the bot lane, we do have TH pushing in. It's a very even side lane matchup, though. The Leandries has been completed for Mordekaiser compared to the Black Cleaver of Coated.
Oh wow, he got it with a passive.
He did. You gotta love it. Got it with that Circle of Pain. So, while we have a bit of a lull, let's have a look in at the important items. What is important here? And what coming up could be important?
Look at Celebrity. He is on 2 items. He's so strong. 50% crit, a lot of AD. His ult hurts. Of course, his ult also scales with crit, so it's the best possible 2-item power spike for Celebrity. He's so much stronger than Divkit right now, which means, yeah, Team Secret overall is looking at a little bit of an advantage team fight-wise. That said, though, TH also on 2 items, and he has a lot of utility with a lot of damage alongside that, which... yeah, this is not a bad setup for EVOS either. They are still ahead in gold and also double slow items build up for Parky, so a lot of control in team fights and also around team fights with the spooky ghosts.
Yeah,
it's still a very even situation, but I would favor Team Secret on a front to back setup right now just because of Celebrity's items.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for Coated to get anything done into this Nico. It's so easy.
Whoa, what is going on?
Baron has been started. It is going down. Secret has no idea. They haven't sniffed this out.
Gave it away there.
They did give it away. They've led them over. That's a mistake. Teleport now being used.
They're still on it.
Artifact can't TP. Artifact is in the bot lane and can't TP.
Look
this is a 4v5. This is just going to be Baron. Bullet Time doing a hell of a lot of damage. Be the hero to stop it. Can they get in and get anything done? DNK needs to find it, but no, it's secured by Sword. Can Secret at least win the fight? It's not going well. 1 for 1 at the moment.
Artifact is
will go down. Artifact has finally arrived. Can Celebrity and Artifact link together to win it again? Horrible cocoon there, but now it's 2 for 2. Can they find anything more? The Tangle Barb to hold Celebrity back. This should be Div Kid going down.
Sword
once more, but good flash by Celebrity to dodge the knock-up. Whew. 2 for 3, but EVOS get the Baron. They keep it on 2.
We are never going to get a team fight that is one-sided. It seems like only the last team fight of the game is allowed to be one-sided. This one was not the last, luckily for us. And there we go, another super close affair. Dragon will go over to Team Secret, but they lost Baron. So overall, EVOS can be decently happy with this outcome. They lost a little bit of their gold advantage once again, and Team Secret now at soul points. So actually, I want to correct myself there. I think it's actually a better outcome for Team Secret. They can likely just prevent the Baron from doing anything because, there's a lot of time lost already. It's only up there for 2 minutes, and it's very unlikely that EVOS will get any further turrets. So Team Secret benefiting from the very over-aggressive call from EVOS to finish the Baron. I don't think that was the right call there.
It was, aggressive, over-aggressive is one word. Aggressive is definitely correct. As here's the replay. That could have gone a lot worse if B hadn't gotten that suplex.
Yeah, B with very good awareness to turn on Celebrity to prevent his bullet time damage from shredding everyone in the Baron pit. The Celebrity still gets the kill and is still almost full HP, so he has a lot of impact. Double kills over to him. EVRs and Celebrity as Divki gets caught by Artifact. And Son tried to go for the counter kill. Not even sure if he would have gotten it. With Son now once again on the aggressive as we come back.
As Coated is in the stasis, but he'll get slammed into the deck by B.
And now suddenly the Baron might actually do something for them. The Baron is still active for 45 seconds. So now they're going to back away again. That's all surprising. I think after securing a kill, you could try to push for an inhibitor. Seems that they are not willing to do that, and EVOS gets just a free kill and another turret. Get back to 3k gold lead for EVOS, but facing against 3 dragons, and potentially a little bit of a better scaling backline.
Yeah, this game is still absolutely on a knife's edge, beginning to tip just a little bit towards EVOS, but 3 minutes, we do have Soul potential for Team Secret, and the Baron. They'll spawn at roughly the same time. That could be a very big passage of play in about 3 minutes.
Oh, I love it when the timers are synced. That's so much hype all around the map. We need to see a little bit of vision control now established for especially EVOS. If you look at the map, a lot of wards in the top side jungle for Team Secret. They know what's going on in their jungle. Maybe they need to advance a little bit more into the map, but never mind me. We don't need vision. We need fights.
Absolutely. As Coded has been caught out here, pops the Dominus, but it's not going to matter. Div Kid with the spears will take him down easily, and now the map is a 4v5. This Renekton, this is a disaster. He's 2 and 6. But it's traded for a mid lane inner. What's going on? What's going on, VCS?
It's still chaos all around. And Team Secret without the Baron is now on the push. Instead of EVOS, who had the Baron a few minutes before, Team Secret might just secure 2 turrets here in trade for just Coated.
Yeah.
Will be traded for 1 turret, at least on the bot side. So 1 kill in the turret for 2 turrets. Usually you would say 2 turrets are a little bit stronger, especially because it's the secondary turret in mid lane.
Yeah, I think we take that one. I think we take that one every day of the week, particularly that.
And Coated was only worth 176 gold on top of that. So it's not even a 300 gold kill. So you definitely take the turret trade.
Yeah, goddamn you do. This is a bit of a weird one, and we are kind of seeing why this Renekton pick can be a little bit of an issue. He's going to really struggle to have any impact in fights, being zoned off by Parquet, as well as just not being a very big croc. It's going to be a bit rough for Coded, and this is must win, obviously, for Secret. They want to take this to a game 3. They've got a strong backline, but is their frontline enough?
So the QSS has now come in for Celebrity, which means now TH loses a lot of value to the team composition. So you just talked about the Renekton having some struggles. I think Mordekaiser will struggle in the next team fights as well. Both top laners might just actually go to their own little fighting game when TH has no one to ult but Coated, and they just fight inside the death realm while everyone else ignores top lane as per usual. So that might just be what the 2 top laners will do for the rest of the game. But yeah, Celebrity with the QSS, you can't actually ult Artifact because Artifact will just kill you very, very quickly. So you could either go for the top laner or actually the jungler. DNK, ulting DNK is not bad either, but last time he tried that, it didn't go too well in the Dragon Pit. So.
I mean, the Mordekaiser ult always has a baseline value. This is the race! The race? Hello? Hello, VCS?
Wow, will they try to push on?
This is a base race. We're base racing, boys.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no, they're backing off.
And now it's actually an advantage for Team Secret.
Team Secret in a good position. Stop the recalls. Stop the recalls.
Yeah, stop the recalls.
Just all you have to do is stop the recalls. They've stopped one. They've stopped one. No, this is happening. This is happening. The base race is happening. Team Secret's going to win.
Oh, they have it. This is the game.
Celebrity, he has the flash.
DNK on the next one.
DNK's hitting it. He's spot on. Team Secret get the win. Oh my god. What happened? What?
What a call for EVOS. Oh, it looked so good at the start. They got the inhibitor, and then they couldn't turn away quickly enough. They underestimated the Elise and the MF damage so much. MF is able, with Strat, MF has so much attack speed, you never account for that. And wow, what a finish to the game. Team Secret getting back. And this is another super tilting victory. So we are up to 2 tilting victories after each other. Wow.
What just happened? Oh, VCS, I missed you. I missed you so much. Oh.
Well,
God damn. God damn.
that was. Whew. We actually didn't. We didn't end with a team fight. So no one actually wanted a decisive team fight in this game, and the game still ended. So we have to wait for the conclusion of team fight galore in this series and the next game. Wow. What a call. What a call from both teams. And very good awareness for Team Secret to just keep on pushing. Of course, delaying in the backs is always the right call there. They didn't even die for it. So in the end, a lot of TPs came in as well, but it's just not enough. Elise has so much attack speed. MF has so much AD and attack speed. Even if you TP in, that's not enough to stop. They just can't get the kills quickly enough.
That was... We have to pick an MVP, and then I need a break. I need to recover.
Oh, picking an MVP is so hard for this game. The one who called the base race, I guess.
Yeah. We gotta do it quickly, because I need a break. I need to get a drink. I'm knackered.
No idea, actually. Jungler? ADC?
Yeah, ADC, I think. I think ADC is the pick, right?
Celebrity?
Yeah, Celebrity had some big ball at times. Let's give it to Celebrity. We don't do that often, so we're proving we're not biased.
He deserves it.
He does.
He deserves it for
and
this game. Sure.
There's a lot to talk about, but my God, what a finish to both games so far. Game 3, can it live up to this? Don't go anywhere, because you need to find out just as much as we do. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes to see who can close out this absolute slobber knocker of a series. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. We've had a moment to calm down.
Much needed moment after that last one.
I apologize, everyone who I may have injured, audio-wise. I can only give my sincerest apologies. But we are at 1-1. Team Secret and EVOS bringing us back. This is why we watch the VCS. This is why we're here. So can you break down what needs to happen in Game 3 and a bit of a rundown on Game 2? Because I'm done. My brain's gone.
I would really like to see a very different approach to draft. We've seen now 2 times both teams were very content to just trade picks. Very similar setups for both teams, where EVOS goes for very heavy early game skirmishing with a lot of CC, a lot of control, but not a lot of damage in the late game. And then Secret goes for 2 strong late game backline carries with whatever they pick around that. But one is back in. That is very surprising. Okay, you won game 1 at TH. TH lost game 2. So it kind of makes sense, right?
Yes, but it's a bit harsh. I don't think TH was
it's pretty harsh.
Problem.
So. Especially, of course, usually we say TH for sure is the better player between the two. So that's quite surprising. Coming from the last game, maybe it's just a little bit of tilt as well, of course, after such a close affair where you're close to 2-0 and remember, if EVOS were able to 2-0 this one, this would have been such a big boost to their playoff chances. You're moving up to 6 series wins and also moving up to 0 game difference. Game difference is a big problem for EVOS still in the playoff race. So this would have been such a big accomplishment. But now they have to reset. They have to calm down, as Everyday did.
Did I? I don't know if I did.
And they have to try to win this next game.
Yeah, you might have to do a bit of play-by-play this game, because I think I've just used all of my banked quarantine
no.
built play-by-play energy.
You're still in Series 1.
I know, it's a disaster. All of our practice casts have been like NA and like LPL. We can't keep up with the VCS anymore. We're old boomer casters now. But... So you say that you'd like to see them vary it up. What in particular would you perhaps like to see? The band's looking identical. So
I would like to see
another set
was to change the mid lane pick. Wow, we still have the Renekton priority. I'm really not too happy with the last.
This is overset this time.
Yeah, that's very surprising. Especially as Renekton looked absolutely useless in the last game. Secret seems to be very high on the Renekton priority. I expect to see Set and maybe Kalista here for EVOS. I think Kalista still was a strong pick for Divkid, carried in the first game. Why not pick Set? Kalista can also flex Set bot down to the bot lane. Makes a lot of sense to me. And there we have the Set login.
Yep, that makes... I'm honestly surprised to see the Renekton priority so high. It didn't look good last game. Coded was really not particularly impactful whatsoever, but they opt into that side of it.
Change.
And there's the change. They go for the MF ADC. They haven't gone for one of these last two games. Interesting stuff.
And Celebrity can't play Kalista, or at least not very well. He has played her. Did he play her? No, he has... Oh, once, yeah. Oh no, it's actually Artifact, sorry. So he hasn't played Kalista once. We might see Artifact play Kalista again. This Kalista is very unlikely to go to the bot lane, in my opinion. So there we go. We might have another mid lane Kalista, or Celebrity brings us his first Kalista game of the season, which would be surprising.
They've had a week of scrims and stuff, right? They've had a lot of prac time. He could have polished up the Kalista, made sure it's nice and shiny. But it's, of course, still a flex pick. It would be... I don't think it's a very good solo lane pick when your other solo lanes are a Renekton.
Yeah.
I think you're going to struggle.
So, EVOS. Will EVOS also change up the mid lane so far? It's a jungler picked. So, once again, picking the Rek'Sai for Son. He had a very strong performance early on, outpassed DNK in both games so far. So, Son looking like the way stronger jungler, still 1-1. He has to feel a little bit frustrated, getting out to a 2-level lead twice in a row and only winning one of the two games. Feels a little bad for him, but he should just be able to repeat this one. Especially if they opt into pinching down the jungle pool, which, is happening right now. Literally already banned.
Yeah, kind of surprised to see the Nidalee banned, because DNK hasn't gone for that kind of champion at all. Elise still available. I would like to see that banned out. If they're going to ban junglers, you've got to ban the Elise, right? DNK hasn't looked great on the Spider so far, particularly in terms of his pathing, but it's still Elise Renekton.
Yeah, I think they might... Skarner.
That is a DNK special. That is a DNK special.
It is. But most played is still Olaf. I would have actually expected them to ban the Olaf here. Maybe they ban Skarner because they know Olaf would be full AD, and with Artifact likely piloting the Kalista, it's maybe a little more dangerous to have the Skarner here for more setup, for a more time board, and a little bit of tankiness. If you argue that, though, you should actually ban away another AP jungler. So Elise is still open. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And we see a very interesting change. That's such a hero champ, but it's but one playing it.
And I mean, that means we're going back to set support. I'm not going to even comment on that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lock-in. It's not just a hover.
Oh, that is Gragas as well. Oh, Grago in the last rotation. Yes, yes. Artifact Yasuo. Here we go.
Let me just say something. Apparently, the Team Secret social media team is aware of our stream, which is awesome, by the way. Hi, guys, if you're watching. I don't know if you are. Maybe they just maybe they don't like me. Because they're trying to kill me with this comp. You've given me two games that have already, half killed me. You trying to finish me off, guys? Did I do something? Because this is a bit brutal. And Lysandra to round it out. That's a really good pick into the Gragower.
Oh, I got my wish. Two very interesting compositions, very different from before. Cannon on the side. We break the top lane melee stalemate and now get the counter pick for the Cannon on the top lane, which means he should be able to beat Coated once again. This might be another crocodile that is struggling to have game impact. On the other side, though, Gragas, Renekton, Yasuo, especially if Yasuo moves there as well, can also look for dives on the Cannon. And if Cannon gets behind, he's not the greatest champion either. I really like this Lysandra pick, as you pointed out as well. Lysandra into Yasuo, very good choice, especially if she goes Aftershock. It's very easy for her to survive the burst and go back to turret with her E. So this is... both team comps want to brawl. It's not really about split pushing. It's just 5v5 brawling. A lot of engage on the side of EVOS, a lot of AoE damage on the other side. We have a lot of bursts with Yasuo, with Renekton stun into Kalista spears. So it's once again a very, very, very interesting draft setup. And just looking at it, I think I favor EVOS. I think their defensive
I think it's hard to execute onto this.
Capabilities, are very strong against Yasuo Gragas. And Kalista might struggle to ever attack Cannon because of her attack range. Cannon can just zone her off. So I think it's easier for EVOS to win this game late in the game. I really want to see the exhaust on Venus to exhaust Cannon whenever he comes in. So let's see if he's aware of that interaction. Of course, a traditional counter pick.
You'd really hope so.
And will we see another Omnistone set?
I mean, it's B again, so why not, right? He thought it was good enough in Game 1, well, Game 2, Game 1 of him playing it, so why not run it again? And, I mean, the set didn't look bad. I still think the Aftershock would have just been a more consistent rune. But, but hey, whatever. He wants to go for the Omnistone, wants to bring us some spice. We see coded in Sorn on screen. This, I think... You're right. I think if it comes down to just 5v5, 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 I do favour EVOS's comp. It's just easier. It's going to be really hard for Team Secret to play around this cannon. They can do it. It's definitely not impossible. But it's not easy.
Exhaust on Celebrity. That's an interesting adaptation. A little bit out of the G2 playbook. No heal, and G2 likes to play double exhaust spot lanes. This time Team Secret went with exhaust ignite, super aggressive, very low defensive capabilities, but exhaust is very important against Bud 1 in teamfights. It kind of makes sense to have the exhaust on the ADC directly, as we hit the first pause of the VCS Week 8. And of course, we were always just waiting for the pause. There's no way we don't get to the week without a pause.
Well, I've got to say, considering I think... I don't know the full setup. We've heard whispers from... We've got multiple conflicting sources about where these games are being played. Some people saying online. Some people apparently they're in G2 Stadium. It looks like the casters are in a studio. So, I mean, tech issues, it's going to happen. Don't give them too much crap, guys. It's a really, really rough time. Honestly, shout out to the VETV guys and the Riot guys that are involved for being able to put it on at all. Pretty tricky time to be an event manager at the moment, so don't give them too much crap, guys. They're doing well.
So, as far as I know, the reason we moved to 2 hours early is also because of the curfew that is apparently in place in Vietnam. I didn't exactly know the timing, which should be something like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., around that time frame. There's a curfew apparently in Vietnam, which... Yeah, maybe makes a lot of sense. It's something our countries are still not doing, right?
Well, I mean, technically we
have a general lockdown.
We technically have a curfew because you're not meant to be out at all.
You have a curfew. Interesting.
Well, it's not. I'd say technically we have a curfew because we're not meant to be out at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
right?
That's fair. So it's a general curfew for every time.
It's like it's not a strict curfew, but it's because having a curfew would be silly because you're not really meant to be outside anyway. It's a bit weird. It's not good. It's not going well in Australia. Let's just say our lockdown is 6 months. Oh, but we are back in game, so no one cares about that. Here we go.
Oh, Strat skill for Divkit might have actually saved his life there. He's able to run away very quickly, of course, with the 60 extra movement speed on MF. So she's at something like 390 instead of the 330 she would be at, facing against Venus's Thresh, who would be able to hook her then. So nice skill choice. Most MFs go a W first, so it's not super surprising, but still good to see. Nice little interaction. Sorn is starting in the enemy jungle, and we have vertical jungling coming in. Everyone aware of what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams know what's up. I don't know. Is the names flickering for you? Is that just on my end? But, oh, you know what is flickering? Divkid's health bar.
Oh, wow.
He gets ripped to shreds down there. Hopefully the...
Whoa, what is going on?
Kind of trippy on the sides there. Whoa. We getting snapped or something? Are people fading out of existence?
The top lane is... Top side is struggling.
They're getting taken into the fighting game.
Getting sucked into a different dimension here, it seems. But
we'll do our best.
There was a very big trade at level 1 for the Celebrity, and I love this rune choice for Celebrity. I'm not sure why a lot of Kallistas and VCSs have now decided to go for Lethal Tempo. I really like this lane-focused rune. I like Hail of Blades of Callista. I think it's super strong early on, but Sorn is approaching. We can't really see his health bar, but he's still approaching.
It's full. Don't worry. It is nice and full as he is in this bush. Celebrity on half health. Should be a very, very easy first blood. The exhaust is used. It doesn't do much of anything. There is the flash knock-up to make it a double kill. Can Venus get over the wall? He can. Goes for the haymaker. Oh, but DivKid! He wants the double. He gets the double. Lovely, lovely stuff here. And EVOS off to a big old lead down in the bot lane.
And what a start for the bot lane for DivKid. DivKid has to run away at level 1, gets chunked to like 100 HP at level 1, almost has to reset. His jungler comes for the rescue, and DivKid just gets 2 kills for free, and now he's getting back to lane. It's like, I won my lane. I'm so good. I'm such a good AC. Ooh. Thank you, jungler, by the way.
Is that on... Did you have a little bit of lag there, or was that just on my end?
Yeah, I think we all experienced a little bit of lag. Okay, not sure.
It was only one little moment, evidently. It's all right. No, don't need to, really. Yeah, it's fine. It'll sort itself out. Let's move on. Can I just say, God, I've missed the VCS. I'm having so much fun. I hope everyone that's watching is as well. We've missed this so much. No league is quite like the VCS. I'm not even sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
No, that's just the thing. We don't judge. No league is like the VCS, indeed. So DivKid gets both of the kills. Very nicely executed for Sorn. DivKid hesitated there. He wanted his support to get the kill because he didn't want to blow Slash. But in the end, you kind of still want to, right? You want to collect those kills. And now he's sitting at CS disadvantage, but 2 kill lead, double Duran's Blade, as we have Sorn waiting in the bush.
Yeah. Crouching Tiger, hidden Rek'Sai.
Oh, no, Sorn.
No, Sorn. You gotta commit. You gotta time your KFC run better, son. That was some really undercooked chicken, and that you don't want to undercook your chicken, Sorn. Really bad.
And this is the first time in two games that DNK is ahead in CS.
Yeah.
Also, just wanted to point out, look at DNK's rune choice. Is this really DNK?
Can someone go around the secret house and make sure that they're not cheating? I don't think this is DNK. Yeah. This isn't Dark Harvest.
Yeah, DNK is usually playing with Dark Harvest, Gregors. Don't ask us why. It's VCS. Yeah. Don't ask questions. Never mind.
Down in the bot lane, we can ask a question of what the hell just happened as Venus is sent to hell. Goes back into his own lantern, and Celebrity looking a little confused.
Yeah. So far, no defensive summoner not working out too greatly for Team Secret's bot lane. Oof. That's a very bad start. Especially you're definitely supposed to win this lane as Callista with Hail of Blades and Venus at your side on Thresh. One of the strongest Callista combinations, almost ungankable actually, especially once level 6 hits. But they got ganked early, and now they are down 3 kills on the bot lane. All 3 kills over to DivKid. He should be able to get a very early Essence Reaver, and then he might just be able to overpower the enemy team with stats. Even though Callista has a way better trading pattern, if the enemy ADC has 50 more AD, you can trade all you want. It's not going to be in your favor.
No, it won't be at all. At least the mid lane is going somewhat well here for Team Secret. Artifact with a very slight lead.
Well,
what is going on? How has EVOS got off to such a big lead in this bot lane? This is a disaster. It's a BF sword to a cull.
It's really the 50 AD difference I was talking about. This is not something you can ever fight for Celebrity.
No, Venus.
And we might have
He's in so much trouble. They came over the wall. The Hex Flash was good. And Venus is dead again. 0-3 at just before 7 minutes. Uh-oh.
At 640, you're only worth 220 gold. You definitely have to reconsider your choices in the game. Wow. 0-3 start for Venus. He is struggling. He's getting picked on time and time again. It's actually not much about his mistakes, honestly.
No.
He's just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, that's a mistake. But I mean, it's not...
It's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I think it's not so necessarily his fault. It's the fact that this bot lane has lost priority when it's never meant to.
Yeah, that's correct.
So he's just being caught in places that should be safe, but they're not because of how disastrously the bot lane's gone. And that's really bad because DivKid can carry a game. DivKid is probably the best suited, even if he wasn't 3-0 to carry this game because he's on this misfortune.
So, I know we have a very big DivKit fan in our Discord, and he pointed out that DivKit once again has one of the best stats for ADCs. He's very high on damage per minute. He is the main carry for EVOS's late game. Of course, Son, I would say, is overall the best player over the course of the season. He has had some very good jungle games. He has a lot of agency early on, is able to accelerate the game, but they rely on DivKit to bring the late game damage, and he is in prime position to do so once again.
Yeah, it is a little bit hard to take that DivKid fan seriously because they're also a husband fan. So, swings and roundabouts. He's right about DivKid, though. Yeah, I think the way to phrase it, and I completely agree with what you're saying, is that Sorn puts it... Oh, look at that damage onto Venus. That's gross. Sorn puts EVOS in the position to win, but DivKid actually kicks the ball into the goal.
Yeah. It's actually a very good setup to win games. Sadly, the solo lanes for EVOS have been a little bit lackluster for this season. Like, I think the core for EVOS, the jungle and bot lane setup, is actually one of the best in the league and might be able to hold up to almost everyone here. But the two solo... Oh, never mind me. There's a dive in the top lane happening.
There is, but one has popped that slicing maelstrom, but there's the knock-up into the last breath. Coded was tanking the whole time. He gets out, but Parquet and Sorn have both arrived. DNK could be in some trouble. They're chasing onto Artifact. He should have absolutely no way out. There's the chomp. He tries to outplay. He's doing some Yasuo things, but in the end, all it really does is buy time for his team to get out. 1 for 1. Not actually bad for Team Secret. They get a kill onto their Yasuo. I think they're okay with that overall, because the other kill went onto a Rek'Sai.
Also played on tempo, so it's actually a 1-for-1 trade for them is actually good because the enemy team had to invest teleport to get there. I didn't like the choice for Parquet to not go for more kills. I think he had flash available still. He was full HP, and the kill on Yasuo was all but secured for Sorn. So try to go for another kill. You teleported up there. They lost a lot of priority now. They might get a big advantage now with this nice objective being available to them. So that equalizes a little bit of what they lost in the trade overall. But yeah, not the biggest fan of Park's play there. I think he definitely could have looked for a more aggressive approach, especially also with Aftershock. So he's pretty tanky.
Potentially. But off that play, we do have Sorn picking up the Rift Herald. So things, once again, going back in EVOS's favour. They'll be able to get back into that tempo lead. They are now 1.7-ish K ahead. How does Team Secret get back into this? Do they even have the better late game? I don't think so. It's very even, right?
As I talked about in Champions Select, I favor the late game of EVOS because it's easier to execute.
Yep.
It's easier to hide back.
Ooh, Artifact wants this kill, pops the ult, but won't go under tower. Last Breath is a very low cooldown, so just doing a lot of damage, pretty valuable.
Yeah. And Last Breath, of course, has the very strange interaction where it places you as far away from the turret as it can. Which so whenever you turret dive on Last Breath, you have a very high likelihood that you're actually out of turret range while you have the 2 seconds in the air. Because it would actually be a disadvantage for Yasuo if that was not the case, because the animation takes a long time.
Yeah. I will complain about a lot of things on Yasuo. That interaction, I think, is completely fair, because otherwise you could be RNG'd out of things a little bit. So it's good that that's a bit controlled.
You can't be confused, though, as playing against Yasuo, because it sometimes looks like he should be in turret range, but then the ultimate places him just outside.
True.
But one has to...
Speaking of Yasuo, he's up in the top lane. Slicing Maelstrom used to clear the way, but it's not here to zone them off. Coded doing a lot of tanking here. He's in some trouble, though. He'll get cleaned up by the Prey Seeker. It's another 1-for-1 up here, this time DNK getting the kill. Ooh,
look at Parquet's coming.
They don't want to stop. They want to turn this around. There's no Last Breath. It's got a few seconds left on it. They do have the party cask. There's a lot of damage. Venus will throw in the lantern to get the shield down. DNK's got to run, but Sword's not dead. Sword is still alive. He finally goes down. The hook is fantastic. Can they find Parquet? DNK, you're too low. Get out. Get out, son. Run away.
And the bot lane dive, it's just continuing. It's just a straight double teleport coming in.
This is a little bit of a disaster here. Coded doesn't want to arrive. He immediately slice and dices out. Can we calm down, guys? Come on. Whew.
The 4-0 DivKit now with more plates to his pocket, into his pocket, more plate gold. Oh, EVOS is accelerating more and more. 3k gold lead now. Will they be able to get this turret?
I think so. There's a lot of minions left.
Minions left. Yeah, they are. Okay, very close, but yeah, the next minute wave would have secured it anyway. So more gold. EVOS now 4K gold ahead at 12 minutes. Very big advantage. And what a play. Once again, Team Secret on the aggressive in the top lane, going for the plays, but maybe a little bit over aggressive. They were not aware of where Parker went. Actually, Venus with the hero play, redeeming his earlier deficiencies, where he went down 0-3 at level 6, in minute 6 even, not even level 6.
Yep.
But now, hero top lane grab. We need to see the replay. That was actually such a cool fight.
Yeah,
happening
we
up
really,
there.
really do. One thing to comment on as well is even though everything just went in EVOS's favor in the bot lane, they still have the Rift Herald. This is hard for Team Secret. They're 4K gold down.
So much standing gold still. And now Coated might just die.
Coated has been caught as well. He's got no tower to run to. He's just standing there. He knows what's about to happen. Sorn is now 5-1. So,
getting
the first 2 games were close.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a stomp so far, which is not a good sign for Secret. Secret is still, this is still the same implications we talked about at the start. If Secret loses this one, they will have lost against all the direct competitors, but no time to talk about that.
Yeah,
more action.
There is a catch up here. B could go down, but the flash is good. The Haymaker shield, they don't want to use the last breath to go on the tower. Good decision. And it's just going to be traded. Look at the bot lane. DivKid's huge. They can potentially fight this 2v3.
Wait, whoa.
Bot lane, though, they're about to crack open
Don't
the
take
Indian.
inhib, though. Don't take inhib.
They will. No team is ever going to heed that advice. Oh, they're not going to do it. I don't think it was for the reason you don't want them to.
Yeah.
Oh, but up in the top lane, we never stop. B will go forward. He gets a bit of a weird interaction. There's a big last breath. Can they turn it around? Artifact is on a lot of health. Down goes Celebrity, but he doesn't matter. The shutdown onto DivKid is here. It's turning around for
Double
Secret.
kill.
Artifact gets a double kill, including a huge shutdown. Is this a Yasuo carry game?
It has to be. And yeah, Artifact is the one to step up. Of course, Team Secret relied on Artifact a lot when we were there. Oh, never mind me. There's another dive happening.
DNK's caught. He's got no hope in hell, and the mid lane will be opened up. This really is going to have to be the anime game. Yasuo's got to carry. He's the protagonist.
He's so far. His team is so far down, though. He has to go 1v5. He has to go for the crit build. Usually, a lot of Yasuos on this patch actually like to go for Blade of the Rune King because it was buffed, of course, for melee. So it's a very good item on Yasuo again for split pushing purposes, as well as team fighting, actually, with sustain and a little bit of mobility. But let's take a look at this top lane fight. DivKid gets caught, no mana as well. He still deals a lot of damage with his crits, but Celebrity is able to use his Fate's Call to just reset the fight, and Fate's Call also enables Yasuo to get the big jump, and Yasuo arrives and is the enemy protagonist we all wanted to see.
Yep.
Double kill over to Artifact.
Absolutely. Going out there looking like Goku, soloing about just about everyone he needs to. And I know that's the one anime reference I can make that you don't. That you can't, because you don't watch Dragon Ball.
Nope.
I watched an anime.
Never seen a single episode.
I watched an anime during quarantine. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, anime style thing. But, you know,
okay.
Not a real anime.
Maybe we will get a series this week where we can talk a little bit more about things we did.
This one.
This is definitely not the
one.
This one is action packed from start to finish. We're actually only sitting on 16 kills. I say only. We had 60 minutes, so 1 kill per minute.
That's
just
slow
on
for the
time.
VCS.
It's actually above average. VCS is sitting at 29 kills per 31 minutes, so slightly below 1 kill a game. But that's due to DBL having very, very low kill games. So they are definitely hurting the average.
Dragging the team down. How do people still support DBL? They're just betraying the whole VCS. But up on the top side, looks like EVOS wants to make a play onto this second Rift Herald, but Team Secret, to their credit, they're not rolling over. They know they still have this strong Yasuo. Kalista, obviously, not in a good situation, but she has at least hit the Bork, right? She hit the 1 item timing. It's late, but it's here.
Yeah, but if you look at the items, she's actually not that far down in terms of combat stats right now. So it's a good time to fight for Secret, and we might see another fight. But one has the Flash ultimate available. Will he pull the trigger there?
Very possible, as Rift Herald will now be over onto EVOS, and it's picked up there by DNK. I don't think he can go in to claim it just yet. The fight has to happen, and they will be looking for something. The Party Barrel and the Last Breath is available. Look how close up EVOS is. This is dangerous. Venus does get the grab onto butt 1, but there is the cask. I don't think they're going to be able to get onto this eye. So the Rift Herald is denied.
Yeah, there we go. So Rift Herald Bites the Dust can't be utilized by EVOS this time around. Never mind EVOS, Team Secret, of course. EVOS now has inside track on mid lane, so they might actually be able to profit with a turret. Immediately trade for top. Oh, look at the top side. Oh, no one is going to defend this one.
This is dangerous. This could potentially turn into more than just a mid lane inner, but no, Celebrity backing off. How fast can you push this, Secret? This is... Not again. Not again.
No, it's not going to happen this early on in the game. We might see another one, but not this early.
They might trade it for... They're going to trade the inner tower for Dragon. They're going to get Soul Point. This is good. EVOS comes out on top here.
Yeah, big win for EVOS. They got the more important turret, they got the dragon, and they denied the Rift Herald, so everything going in their favor. Team Secret at least made the call to go for standing gold, go for immediate gold advantage, because they know they are behind. They need everything they can get, and especially in the pockets of artifacts. So I actually don't mind their call to give up dragon and the turret to go for another turret. Now IE is built, so this might have been actually the important gold spike they needed on the Yasuo. So right now they want to fight. They have one item on Kalista, they have 2 items on Yasuo. Even though they are still behind in gold, this is the time to strike. Wow.
Yeah.
Div-Kit itemization. What? That is such a cool adaptation. I love you, Div-Kit. Wow.
Wow. Okie doke. I was going to bring up that EVOS looking very good with their macro plays. Big level up. But let's focus on that Edge of Night. It's very good. Stops that party barrel into the last breath.
Right. And that's so you don't really want to go for this item, right?
No.
It's a very good item on MF. It's very, very strong. All the stats you want. And of course, the effect is one of the best you can ever hope for. You can't be interrupted with your ultimate. But in this game, I think it's such a smart adaptation. It's better than any GA or shenanigans like that. So, wow, I'm almost a little bit amazed here by Div-Kit's itemization choice. I've almost never seen such a smart second item deviation from the usual ADC build, because you would expect this to come in as a 4th item or third item maybe, but he builds a second. I think that's super
down
good.
In the bot lane though, but one and Coda having a duel. Coda not actually doing very well even on the front half of this fight, but now Div-Kit has come in, wants to show off that Edge of Night, and it's the easiest kill in the world. I think, just a comment on the Edge of Night, I agree with you. It's so smart because not only does it stop the obvious last cone he could get to, has the bullet time as well and will actually get away, B buying him so much space.
Wow.
And they're all going to get out. They didn't pull the trigger on any ults except the barrel.
Secret has to be so tilted. This is such a horrible change.
We often talk about teams that... We sometimes talk about teams where if you give them a finger, they'll take your whole arm. EVOS just gave them a finger and Secret just licked it. They didn't even bite.
I mean, Secret tried everything to get it. They
didn't pull the trigger on the Yas ult. They didn't pull the trigger on the Kalista ult. There was more CC there.
Okay, Kalista should have been coming in there. I agree, but that has to hurt so much. They were super close to getting either kill. In the end, B and Div-Kit get away. Div-Kit had to flash though, B as well. So at least you get their flashes now for the next team fight. They still have to deal with the Edge of Night, which will prevent the very obvious barrel combo. And honestly, with Parquet on Lissandra, I would like to see Parquet just peeling for Div-Kit. Div-Kit is so far ahead, you can just have Lissandra stay there and ult the first target that tries to approach Div-Kit, and then no one can ever do anything. Mm-hmm. Cannon could actually honestly do the same as well. He doesn't have to go into the backline.
Yeah,
if you keep Div-Kit alive, you will win.
Yeah, I think that is... I'd love to see EVOS just play, we've seen it in other leagues, protect the AD carry until it doesn't work anymore. And I think it will work pretty much this entire game. Div-Kit is so fed. Div-Kit's a great player. Yeah, maybe he win MVP.
He's
at
least for this game.
Join our Discord, by the way, if you want to get in on our inside jokes.
So... Well, EVOS is far ahead. 5k gold, 3 dragons. The next dragon will come up in 50 seconds. What can Team Secret do to prevent giving up the soul? That will almost be the nail in the coffin, because more shields over to Div-Kit is not great.
That's true, but I feel like this was the best Drake result. Maybe Cloud would have been better to lose, but it's much better than Ocean, obviously, which was the other side of the coin flip. Obviously, everything's better than losing Ocean. But if Team Secret catch up, it's going to be very difficult to do that. They do have good consistent damage. There is a huge catch, though, the barrel into the asshole. But look at the bullet time, turning everything around. Suddenly it's all going wrong for Secret. DivKid is not challenged. D&K is low. This is all going wrong, and here's but one to make sure it all ends. And all 5 members of Team Secret, they start the fight, and they'll end the fight. And I think this is game. EVOS will beat Team Secret. Playoffs! What's going on for playoffs?
Yeah, this is the best result we could have hoped for in terms of, as a neutral fan, for playoff implications. Now everyone will be in the fight still. Team Secret as well. Team Secret going 1-3 in the first 4 series in round 2. And losing to all 3 fourth-place teams. There is EVOS now, DBL, and Cerberus. Lost to all 3 of those teams. So head-to-head, looking pretty bad for Team Secret.
Yeah. You can say that again.
They are looking at a very hard road to playoffs now. It looked like they secured playoffs a few weeks ago, and now they lost all the following series. They still have Gum and Flash on their schedule, so it's not like an easy schedule anyway.
This is rough for them. This is super, super rough for Team Secret. Close. I will say, I want to talk more about EVOS, but
no. Let's look at this fight.
Oh wait,
first.
Yeah, we'll go back over to the replay. Let's have a look at this fight. You tell us what's going on. Look at the bullet time.
So look at DivKid. DivKid still has a shield, so they get the first kill on the most important member when the shield is still up, and but one, of course, secures the rest of the team fight. But that was the most important part. I think this adaptation in build was super crucial for DivKid. No one got the jump on him. They tried to force a different target, and then DivKid just went into melee range. Still had a shield. No one could touch him. He lost the shield, got grabbed, but who cares? There was no damage remaining. But one also coming from the flank to delay the burst on DivKid. Wow. Very good adaptation. And EVOS, honestly, looking like the better team today, especially in this game 3.
Yeah,
they earned this victory.
I know you want to talk about EVOS, and I'm going to let you. I want to make one comment about Secret. I think the slump is still over. They looked good in that game. They made game 3 not so much, but in game 1 and 2, they played it close. It was better than it was. It's still really bad that they lose, and playoffs is still in threat. They don't look like a team that's going to beat Gum. They are going to struggle to beat Flash. But it looked a little bit better. Team Secret fans, you have a little bit of hope. But let's talk about EVOS, because they've got a lot of bit of hope.
So the good thing I want to go back to Secret for a second.
Go ahead.
Because the good thing for them is they still have Gum and Flash. That's not great, but they also still have VGA. So all the important matches are now behind them. They can look at all the other teams and observe what's going on. And it's likely for them to get to 7-7, which at least should guarantee a tiebreaker with either of the other teams for 4th place. So for Team Secret, it's still a very good chance to get to playoffs. They have to recollect. They need to avoid losing to VJ. That's the most important game now. But looking at EVOS, EVOS is just super happy to get this one. They are still -1 in game score. So game score is still not looking great, and game score is very important. But they get the more important series victory. They still have to play against the other 2 teams contending. So it's all in their hands. If they win every series, they're in. So very good start.
I don't want to cut your analysis short, but I've just seen the timer. Apparently it's a minute until the next series, and I need the bathroom. Normally we have half an hour. But tonight, apparently not. DivKid MVP, lock that one in. You guys, if you want the analysis, you want Yulwei's big brain, and you should. Everyone wants Yulwei's big brain analysis. You have to listen to our podcast, which we'll probably record early next week. So make sure you keep an eye out for the Everyway podcast. We will be back in no time at all, because we need to reset and get ready for our second series. Don't go anywhere, guys. We love having you here. Do look down below the stream. There's a Discord. There's lots of buttons you can press. Press them all. Just go nuts. Go mad. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks for being here once again.
Another super important series coming up, so stay tuned. Flash against DBL.
Absolutely.